You are listening to subscriber-only content.
Fortune favors the bold.
Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright.
Indeed.
I never listen. I'm gonna listen.
Inspirational words to live by as you head into a week vacation.
Well, I'm a guy who honors the late, great Kobe Bryant.
You rent out a gym?
There is no vacation. I'm going to rent out a Wi-Fi connection. Just be putting up AI songs left and right.
Well, I mean, I was saying vacation for you because I don't know if you know where I'm originally from. But where I grew up, I mean, they teach you that it's just a grind mentality.
Yeah,
It's
other
Northern
places.
Northern Ohio.
Other places, given.
We also would rebuild, like if the tornado hit, like we'd get together and be like, oh my gosh, look at this community coming together. It's amazing.
Very unique.
They're not just abandoning the place like they did those pussies in Chernobyl.
Do you know what rules about that is the only people who didn't rebuild stronger are just the people in California that were rich enough to be like, F it. So being strong enough to be rebuild, all that really means is we don't really have another choice here. We will rebuild.
Well, we are recording this live to tape from high atop my garage, which is covered by a Qualis roof. We are not in our Game Day Men's Health studio, but I'd like to give a shout out to those guys and ladies. There's ladies that work there too. It's crazy. Like, what is this? And my name is Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
And we do have a Qualis roof for sure because I believe Dallas. Who's Dallas?
Right here.
The guy with the Dumb Zone shirt on. We have a couple of guys who have joined us today to sit in. Dallas is here at the behest of Qualis, right?
That's right.
That means you got a roof from Qualis.
Yeah, I struggled through adversity, and they helped me rebuild strong.
That's right.
Qualis roof.
That's what they're about.
Yep.
Nice.
These are my brother-in-laws joining
wow.
me. Oh.
Keith.
What a lucky
Keith
guy.
and Ryan, yes.
Okay.
Now, I'm just going to say, we look at the calendar. It says Den sit-in. Oh, we got Mike Marshall today. And then sometimes it'll say the name of the sit-in. Is it through Qualis? Is it through Community? And, you look at it and you're like, oh, whatever. You move on with your life. But I'm going to be honest. When it says sit-in and the name is Dallas Rose, this is about as disappointing.
Do you think it was a stripper?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yes.
I thought it was at least a woman.
I get this a lot.
A promiscuous one, likely.
Maybe a magician.
Maybe.
It is a hot
Maybe
name.
some sort of burlesque, cherubic magician. It's a little chunky. But no, it's this guy.
She's brave.
It's a middle linebacker,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Just been stacking beef in here this week.
Yeah.
We have
Really
it, man.
do. Ass to grass boys back there.
I know.
Yes, also sitting here, he gets a couch seat. He gets a little, I can't even count the ways he is being treated more special than any guest who has ever been in here. He is Mike the Machine Marshall.
Yes.
You may know him from The Ticket like a million years ago. You may know him from the Dallas Mavericks more recently. And you currently know him from D Magazine, right?
That's correct.
A magazine that's all about the D.
That's what they said. They promised.
So, welcome.
Have you ever been on our show?
Not the show proper, just Cowboys watch.
Cowboys stream.
Yeah,
You were up here
streams.
for a Cowboy watch party?
Yeah, the second one we ever did, I think.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he's the first person that's not going to be helping our organization with commerce, putting money in the coffers. The first person that's not that who has worn shoes up here to the den.
Yeah.
He's now it looks like
I can take them off.
I don't care.
I didn't think about it. These are really clean, actually.
They do look exceptionally clean.
They're really, really clean.
I don't think those shoes have been inside a
How many pairs of
quick stop
threes you
bathroom.
own?
This is it.
Okay.
This is the one pair of
I've never
threes.
taken the journey.
I've got a bunch of ones, and the ones I had been Air Jordan ones. ones I had been wearing, when you get to that like edge where they're like just kind of shitty enough,
Yes.
where you're like, I can't wear these to work anymore or anything
all
like
of
that.
mine. But fortunately, they don't allow shoes at my job.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
So it's been okay.
I'm
They're lasting longer
transitioning.
than they used to. Okay.
I'm transitioning
Don't
to some
take 'em off.
threes. I'll take them off if Dan
No,
wants it.
dude, you're the king of the castle.
I think I've lived here long enough, though, that I should probably just stop the whole shoe thing.
I think that is foolish.
It's foolish to stop the shoe thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
'cause
made
every-
it this far. It's
Yeah,
a thing.
right.
We're stocking socks over there if anybody
Well,
needs them.
that's the thing. I noticed there's some bare feet back there.
I already offered off air.
Oh, okay.
In the anticipation of
I
an
not
on-air
only have Whataburger socks.
You do?
Because the Whataburger guys came over the other day.
Yeah.
But I have all these Dallas Maverick socks that apparently Jake. And
Well-
I mean, it's not weird. I've sworn off the Dallas Mavericks.
Plashly
as has
gave me
apparently,
those.
Mike.
In more
But-
serious terms.
But yeah, these are all Dallas Maverick socks. They're in their case or whatever. They've
Yeah.
never been worn. And if anybody wants to wear a pair, so when you visit the den,
Take 'em.
maybe wear sandals on purpose so
Sure.
that you will have to get a free pair of socks. What a treat that could be for you, and a story for years to come.
I'd
I
get a
think-
roof just to get the socks.
I
No.
know, right? Economically, I think that's.
I have an announcement to make about our staycation. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if I'm going anywhere yet, but I do want to promote when we get back. So we're off next week from doing regular shows. We will put out content because that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Blake.
And we'll have some fresh stuff in there, like we're going to record some stuff. But I don't think we're going to have a live show. Jake and I did talk about he's coming back from vacation Wednesday night, so maybe, in fact, we'll pop something on Thursday.
We won't ask
Who
you
knows?
guys to do anything.
Wouldn't that be exciting, though?
Nobody freak out.
Clayton already had his head in his
I
hands.
know.
Wouldn't that be
I turned
exciting?
around. I felt it.
No,
Logging
Clayton
into
doesn't have to do
Kayak
anything.
to cancel everything.
Why should today be anything different than any other day? Clayton doesn't have to do anything. So
That'll. I felt the gravitational pull of his slumped shoulders behind me.
But when we get back,
Yes.
like right away, we have a remote. Tuesday, July 8th, Whataburger. And we have launched. You know what? I got to run out to my car to
I
get it.
swear, dude, I'll
Just kidding.
kick you into your dick.
Look at what we have, Mike Machine Marshall. We have a 75th
Oh, my
anniversary
God.
Dude,
Whataburger
Mike.
car tray
Tell me your boy hasn't made it.
Man,
slash
dog.
Dumb Zone
We made it.
logo. It is
We
know.
made it, Playboy.
This is exclusive.
People
A
will be eating
Whataburger
off trays everywhere.
Dumb Zone collectible car tray. 75 people will get these. You have to show up to the remote, and you don't have to buy something, but come on. What are we asking you to do Whataburger for? So that you can just walk through the place?
No.
Grab a little something.
No, yeah.
What does the
grab more
copy
than a
say?
little
Like
something.
grab a number one or something? I don't know.
75 fries is what Blake said yesterday.
I just think somebody needs to spend some money in that Whataburger to get it.
Okay.
That's all.
Y'all let him do this all the time?
Well,
He just does whatever he wants
Yeah,
because he knows he's indispensable.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
He
That's-
knows.
I mean,
yeah.
we don't have the balls Nico had
No.
to ship this prodigy out of here because of his habits.
This is exactly like whenever Ben Affleck and Matt Damon bought like matching Grand Cherokees with their first check. When you know you've made it, you got a car tray, dude.
I know.
That's
I know.
cool as
and,
shit,
and the
to
thing
be
is,
honest.
you've known me a long time. You know I'm a guy who I'll eat in the car on you
Yeah.
a lot, and I've probably consumed most of the food off my tray from Whataburger. So join me.
You know what I should
Tuesday
say?
the 8th.
You
Did
can
we
be
say
like
El
this.
Dorado and the tollway? That's important
Yeah.
because you can't. There's a lot of Whataburgers.
You,
So I don't know
my,
if you just
my
show up at your
guess,
local Whataburger
if you
and we'll
showed
be
up at the one like that I used to go to on the late night over in like Stop 6 in Fort Worth and just say like, "Where's my car tray?" at noon, film it.
Tuesday, July 8th, 11:30 start. El Dorado and the tollway, Whataburger.
Yes, sir.
Now, I have acquired something finally, and this is what I'm not sure what I'm doing over this week. Certainly lots of business because we like to tell you how hard we work all the time. So that's number one. Just to get that out of the way, going to be working hard every day. Number two, don't know if I'm going away or if I'm just going to stay here. A lot to do here. Have thought about what if you guys came back and this whole, like, I had taken everything off the walls and done a bunch of different stuff, and who knows? the odds are nothing's going to be done here.
I had a dream the other night. We love
There'll be,
talking
like,
about
one more
those,
water in the
where the
fridge.
room looked like a studio, like a full.
Did that bother you or happy you? Did you like it?
Once I dried myself off, I was like, that looked pretty cool.
My wife is imploring me. She's like, you should take all the personal stuff down and just do whatever you want.
I don't know about all the personal stuff, and I like the couch, but we'll evaluate.
What about the Wonder Woman poster?
I can't go anywhere.
What about the Superman poster? So anything that has gotten here since we've started doing the show
Must stay.
Okay. I like what you're saying. But so during the week, I feel like when we come back, you won't recognize me.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm going to have, I don't know what I'm going to have. I'm going to get some treatments. And this is similar to Game Day Men's Health, but different because it's going to come from the earth itself.
Grounding
so I have acquired my grounding shoes. These are shoes without the rubber soles.
I think you have to. Can you wear socks? You can wear socks.
I have contacted Lana from Lana and Daniel fame.
Yeah.
Remember we met Daniel. Oh, maybe you weren't there. We hung out with Daniel after the one remote we did, Blake, long time ago. And that Daniel was wearing the grounding shoes and was telling me about all the benefits and how he feels great.
Just
feels
his
like
electrons are just
totally 100
popping, falling off.
Yeah, so I am allowed to wear these today because I haven't worn them anywhere else. But I will start wearing these outside. Just kind of walking around the earth, just kind of feel, what do I feel like?
You're going to be charged, man.
It's going to be amazing.
We kind of know that grounding probably came from the Indians. They did things way better than us. I don't think they had to put the Native American guy on the shoe.
It's a bit much.
Why'd he code switch halfway through?
Indian and that, what? There's a picture of a, is it like Chief Wahoo on the bottom?
It's Chief Wahoo on the bottom of the
it's
shoe.
Chief Wahoo without the caricature.
Okay, yeah, that's a bit much. We get it. We get it.
Well, I channel my Kyrie, too.
Hella.
Because Kyrie, doesn't this feel Kyrie-ish?
I would
Very
say
much
there's
so.
almost a 100% chance he owns similar shoes.
How
Grounding
about this?
shoes.
I wish you still worked at the Mavs, because you knew Kyrie somewhat.
I don't.
Huh?
Said I don't.
You did know him.
No,
I did know him.
so wishes he still worked at the Mavs. He said, I
okay.
don't.
I see. But because
I do
how
know him
about-
somewhat, though,
How
yeah.
come Kyrie didn't? How come he doesn't have a brand? I would have bought it. Of grounding shoes. That feels like right up Kyrie's thing.
That's like year 2 of the Anta deal.
Yeah, let me go to
Just give it a minute.
Anta.com.
I mean, they have shoes with like
Let me
tassels
log
on them and
back
stuff like
in.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Kyries look
Yeah.
native-y.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just whatever you're getting from me today, just measure it, and then we'll measure it the Monday we're back.
Well, I think okay.
And it's gonna like the
That's good.
electrons
You'll
or
be
something
grounded
that
the whole
is
time.
yes, that is flowing throughout
Now-
my body. I might be able to just whip a thunderbolt out at you.
Here's
I'm
the
not sure.
Here's the problem. Last time I went to a Lowe's or Home Depot, they have a floor, and you walk on that floor for most of your walking. So are we going to have maybe now
I'm
you
gonna have
just
to go
walk
outside.
to fields?
I'm going to have to go to fields. You'll see me in between. Like I'll just go to the highway and pull over where people do the bluebonnet pictures.
just
and I'll just
walking?
walk.
With the vest on.
What about? Can I go to like what's that park down? Ball and Wall.
Dove Creek, Meadowmere.
Colleyville, yeah, whatever. Straight down. There's a big park down there. I can't remember what it's called right now.
It probably doesn't matter for this story.
But still, Clayton's going to tell us.
No, Blake and I came up with the idea that that Dan needs to start doing pitch and putt golf.
I don't even know what that is. Is it different than a par 3 course?
It's a short par 3 course. You need like a pitching wedge, a sand wedge, and a putter.
I love it.
You get all your steps in.
Get the steps.
Tons of grounding.
Perfect.
Probably wrapped
Get a
up
little
in
acid.
an hour. Yeah, well,
If you want.
You couldn't just throw the ball? You just strictly wedges?
Throw golf?
Yeah, throw golf.
Yeah.
So you
Anyway.
really don't know if you're going anywhere.
No, I haven't pulled the
Typically,
trigger.
you have a suitcase here packed
I
like
know,
in
that's-
April for your summer trip.
I pack very early.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. It's trying to get my daughter to coordinate with me. In fact, so I was coordinating a couple of flights with her to get her to go because she's traveling to Indianapolis to see her boyfriend, and then I'm trying to get her to go from there just to Cleveland, and then maybe we can all hook up. So it's all a coordination thing. But she wants to come back and visit once this summer as well, again. So I'm trying to schedule Atlanta. So she lives in Clemson, which is it's like 2 hours from the Atlanta airport, 2 hours from the Charlotte airport. Okay? And we usually just use American. So Atlanta, leaving from Atlanta, it's about $200, maybe $250, but it's in the 200s. Okay. If she goes from Charlotte to Dallas, it's $400. So we're like, oh, okay, let's do the Atlanta. But we look at the Atlanta, and the Atlanta flight is a two-leg flight. You switch planes in Charlotte. So the flight, if she wants to use more gas, more resources, hurt the or carbon footprint or whatever, she has to fly to Charlotte. And then, like, if I just try to book her on that flight, the middle flight that's going from Charlotte to there, it's double the price.
So you're going to...
So can she book the Atlanta flight?
Yeah.
But go to Charlotte and show up in the middle of the flight? Or will they say, oh, look, she's missed the Atlanta flight. That seat is now taken. I give it to somebody else.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Because
if she just showed up in Charlotte and goes, no, look, my ticket is set.
Yeah, but they're going to be like, how'd you get here?
Yeah, they don't want you to check out and check back in.
Yeah, because you ostensibly could have.
Yeah. Unless you're in Hawaii, then you can get away with it.
Interesting.
For some reason.
That ticket will be gone. In the event that... Now, what would be interesting is if it's not gone, right? If they still do have space, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, if you'd left and come back in, maybe not. I don't know. That's a funny one. No, I mean, the airline pricing is completely fucked. Like, does anybody look at that and think this market is working well?
Airlines consider this a no-show and automatically cancel the rest of the itinerary.
Okay, so it's not even a...
Okay.
Did you say it's American?
Yeah.
Okay, because Atlanta's a Delta hub, right?
Delta hub, yeah.
The one.
Like, yeah, is it true, like, if you schedule at 3 a.m., you're going to get a better deal, or a Wednesday?
People say that, but I feel like with the Google Flight Tracker thing now, that if you really stay dialed into that, it'll tell you exactly when to do it. By the way, speaking of Charlotte, the NBA draft name I'm obsessed with from this week, Dan, do you know about Con Kipple?
I heard the name.
You did not say that right.
I did.
I've listened to a bunch of NBA drafts.
Are you sure?
Knipple.
I thought they were saying Kipple.
It's Knipple from Duke play-by-play people.
Are you doing the brothers?
Well, you mean the names?
All of them?
Yeah, so his last name is, Knipple. It's K-N-U-E-P-P-E-L. Knipple.
Okay.
So the K's there. His first name is Con, K-O-N.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Middle?
You know what? I don't...
Craig.
I don't know. But all the other kids' names, Kager, Kinston, Cash, and Kid. And their dad is Con Sr.
Clearly, Cash is with a K.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the problem. They all look like TikTok kids who live in like a TikTok house. And they're all also ridiculous ballers.
Where are they from?
Because
he's not a Cooper Flagg teammate in high school.
Right.
I know where all those dudes are from, but he's just showed up at Duke and was badass kind of kid.
He is from Milwaukee.
That's
Milwaukee. Do you have any other sports that are pressing, Dan, or do you want me to? Can I start rolling through stuff?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I was going to ask, like, do we have to do anything with the Cooper Flagg press conference? I forgot. I wanted to ask you about that this morning and just totally forgot. Isn't
his
there one
intro
today?
press conference?
Yeah, but it's probably going to be.
I mean, he's really boring, dude.
That's what I figured.
I think he's going to be a great team. And I heard Peter Rosenberg from Hip Hop, who somehow has a ESPN radio show this morning, and he brought up the point. I think you disagree with this a little bit, maybe, But he brought up the point, like, listen, this guy's the best white American prospect since Larry Bird. And he's inclined to think that Caitlin Clark's popularity is a little more race-based than maybe you do, and more than I do. I'm probably in the middle. But he's like, you look at that and tell me that Cooper Flagg, especially on a good team where he's making an impact, he's going to be the focal point of the NBA by, like, Christmas. We can't resist it, dude. A dominant American white. Hell, you don't have to be white to be like, I'm extremely interested in this. That's why, Luka.
Well, the thing is, the face of the league type thing. And if this is, I guess we're in sports.
I was going to say, I mean,
we're in the middle of sports.
Do we not? I don't know. So now it's sports time, Mike.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Is, because Luka, not real crazy personable, like as a talker. You don't see him saying wild stuff and all that kind of thing. But it's that his style of play.
Right.
And that's why you think this guy could be the face of the league. This guy could be, Cooper Flagg, what is his style of play going to be?
Electric. Maybe not like as showy as Luka, but I mean, dude, he plays above the rim. And he can shoot.
Okay.
I just wish they would not have to play him with Anthony Davis, who slows the pace of every unit he's involved in around, because Cooper Flagg can get up and down the floor quickly.
So there's zero chance they would trade Anthony Davis just because that's the whole – it's kind of thought that's the whole reason Nico did this whole thing in the first place. He had this Anthony Davis
wet dream. I was telling Dan yesterday – you could right now, take Flagg, Lively, Washington. You probably see if you can do something to keep Omax because you're going to need minutes. But you could get 10 firsts right now. You could be set up 70% of the way where Oklahoma City.
You saying trade those guys or keep those guys? Trade everybody else.
Keep those guys.
Okay.
Like you're getting money for AD and for Kyrie for sure, and probably Gaff because he's very valuable right now.
Gaff will get you a first.
Yeah,
now that he has a contract.
But Kyrie, if that was a sign and trade, people would give you 6 firsts for Kyrie right now, 5 at least. And unless there's
a competent GM.
Unless there's like players involved that are good, and then it's 3, and then Anthony Davis, you could get 2 or 3. They could easily get to 8 or 10 first-round picks, I think.
You talking protected first for Kyrie, or just like here you go?
I think you're not going to get 3 protecteds. But if you look at Oklahoma City, the way they did it, especially with like the Stepien rule, it's that they were working in swaps. So there was never a year where they didn't either have their pick or the best of their pick in someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Should they get rid of the Stepien rule? Isn't it the reason that they do the hat thing on the draft? And
yes.
Just because, you're not technically allowed to trade consecutive
The Stepien
years
rule
picks.
creates the hat thing at the draft.
So why not just get rid of it since everybody's just looking for the loophole anyway?
Because then they would have the way they would have it unregulated and like look for another loophole. And
you don't need a loophole if it's not regulated.
Owners would they would kill the league on accident, right? Don't you think there would be enough bad owners to where you would eventually end up with teams that were having to like receive government bailouts, basically the sports version of that? You can't have a franchise just throw everything at 1 year and be like, I don't give a shit if we're bad in 5 years.
Yeah, I'm selling next year anyway because my company's going under or whatever. I need the money and my next 5 first-round picks are gone.
Yeah.
Like, deal with that league. Like, I think that's the entire idea. And back then, it was definitely a financial incentive to not have a team bottom the fuck out. Now I think they're all pretty much fine.
Yeah, and you know how like we talk about Nico has the sort of personality complex where he thinks, in my mind, that like winning the lottery is his like destiny because he made bold moves. That's
fortune favors the bold.
Yeah,
fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, fortune favors the bold. That's I don't know. The NBA owners would you have to save him from himself. I guess I'll just say that. You'd have to save him from themselves.
I think
I just think it's ridiculous. all of that stuff. And maybe it's just even the cap is ridiculous because all the cap is saving them from themselves. Like in real business, we don't tell them they have to save them from themselves with your whatever your quick trip thing you own or what whatever got you the money. Like that's just the way it is. You might die because if you're not smart, but. It's incredible the fact that we scream about socialism. It's just so terrible. Like that's the worst word you could ever say. And then, but that's what you cheer for every like. Your
and also,
leagues, the reason your leagues are all this strong and awesome is socialism.
Yeah, if you tried to explain the way we do it to Europeans, they're like, "What are you? Why?
Right.
Why would you reward someone for being bad?"
Right. Anyway, sorry.
No, they're good. They're all just very reactionary to what just happened. They're gonna the next time they negotiate a CBA, they're gonna say you're never doing that again. You're never getting Kevin Durant in a spikier Golden State. So here's the second apron that they introduced, and that's why Boston is breaking everything up. So it's just whatever happened 4 years ago. Like right now, they might throw a Stepien rule void idea out there because I don't know. They just react to whatever just beat all of them, and then the 20 owners get together and they're like, "Yeah, we don't want another Golden State situation. So here's a second apron. You're not allowed to have KP and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday. We're gonna price you the hell out."
It's so wild that you think about these people that are brilliant people that work in the league office, and it's almost like you think about like China's one-child policy where they like thought about this really hard and then they're like, let's do it. And 15, 20 years later, it's like the worst central planning mistake in history. I remember when the cap was going to go up and it was like, are they going to smooth it? Are they not? And then this is the Wesley Matthews summer. So he's signing this huge deal, but it's like, but the cap's going to go up next year. Dude, it is crazy that they did not anticipate Kevin Durant to Golden State by setting it up to where he could do it. Mm-hmm. Like, that altered league history forever. And that's completely because the league allowed it to happen. That should not have happened. He happened to be free. They happened to have room. They happened to raise the cap. Crazy.
The owners don't want that stuff. And then I feel like the league kind of real secretly hush-hush does, because they know super teams are whenever the league is at their hottest.
And drama.
When everybody's paying attention, when you can get international markets involved and people interested is when the Warriors are rolling off 3 out of 4. When the Cavs are in the finals year after year. When the Lakers are great. They actually secretly want that. They want stars collectively on one team, so the marketing is very easy to the marginal NBA fan. But then the owners are the other part of it. They're the 49 or 51%, depending on the year. And they're going, no, I'm going to make it so difficult for you to do this. You can do it for 1 year. And then you're going to get screwed. Like OKC is going to be in trouble money-wise pretty soon. Very quickly.
They're going to be in trouble money-wise, but they do have assets to replace them.
They do.
More than like Boston does. Boston's already, they just moved KP. Like, that's going to be a tough scene.
So, working for the Mavs when they made the Luka trade, what is that like? Because I would just imagine most employees were just like, they're all like fans.
Should he state like what he was doing and what his roles were?
That
sort
ahead.
Of thing?
Sure, yeah. I was VP of content with the Mavs for 7 years. So I oversaw social, video, photo, off-court, which is community. Dealt a lot with sponsorship. Had a good amount of interaction with the basketball side whenever we needed to.
You created Mavrello?
No, I actually didn't.
Okay.
No, I killed Mavrello.
Okay.
If we want to talk about that.
It wasn't pre him.
No.
Oh, okay. It happened concurrently?
Matt, the intro. I'm trying to remember.
You were there when Mavrello
So you
happened.
oversaw a lot of it. But...
I was there when Mavrello happened. I will take credit for killing it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You didn't like Mavrello?
It got handed off. It was somebody externally was running it and convinced Mark it was a good idea. And Mark's like, whatever, try stuff. And they did it, and they didn't want to run it anymore or pay for, the Twitter handle, someone running a Twitter handle, someone doing the voiceover, someone doing the animation. So they tried to hand it off internally. Like, look at this success. Let me hand it off to you. Now marketing people to run with this.
They tried to foist Mavrello on you.
They did. They did, and I was like, cool, and I knew exactly where to send it, where it would get tangled up and die.
But you didn't do like a end of the story, actually, like they did with. They do with some brands.
Yeah,
right?
and they tried to write a story for like the death and rebirth of Mavs Man. There was like a comic book story, remember?
Okay.
There was something to it because he's a robot now. He's
I don't like that. I
He's
like
a Power Ranger.
I like
Yeah.
the old Mavs Man.
Me too. His skin was
Who
ball.
once had sex with a basketball. Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Next
his
to-
parents did.
Well, no, it was him. He was next to some chemicals.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mavs Man used to be badass. They used to drop him down from the ceiling,
Oh,
like
hell
upside down, like spinning,
I
with
remember.
like sparklers in his hand.
And it was a reunion, which just felt
Yeah.
That doesn't
more
seem
wild.
safe at all.
It
Hell
wasn't.
no.
It wasn't at all.
No.
But it was badass.
Owen Hart era.
Can
right?
you still book him?
Yes, you can.
What
think-
does he
Like
do?
for parties and
I
stuff.
don't know.
What does he?
I don't know. Who
Dude,
like
we
change
gotta
your
do that
oil?
for
I've been saying it.
summer event or whatever.
Yes.
Winter event. Let's do a winter event.
Have him up
I've been-
there
I've
as
been
Santa
threatening-
Claus, Mavs Man.
Every year, I've been threatening my mom. I'm like, I'm gonna have Champ and Mavs Man show up
Wait,
for Mother's
Santa
Day
Claus,
instead.
man. So people go up and get. Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll have
That's
at our
awesome.
Christmas.
That's awesome. You just go up, sit on his lap.
Sit on Mavs Man Santa's lap and take a photo.
He doesn't speak, so it's like a
No-
real
Yeah, but
limited.
That's perfect.
it is. Write that down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him like changing oil and like edging the yard, and shit like that,
Fuck your wife. Or whatever.
or whatever.
So,
Weird.
director of content.
VP of content.
VP of
Thank
content.
you. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean,
So not Pants DJ.
I was not. Yeah, I was not there at that time. I got brought in because all those people got cleared out. That was the timing on that. Yeah, I mean, I experienced it probably similar to most people on that night or date. I didn't see it that night. I actually went to sleep and woke up the next morning, like the Sunday morning, like it's
A million texts.
Yes, yeah. It's my morning with the kiddo on Sunday morning, so I get up a little early and start doing stuff and get ready, and it is the first thing I see, and then I check 5 different sources, and I don't know, man. I didn't internalize it for a really long time because I don't know if you understand what a VP of content does whenever there is a player like Luka on your team. Like, we have somewhat of a relationship. I know all of his management. I know all of his people. We went to Madrid because of him a year before. I've met his mom. I've met his dad. I know all these people. And we went to Madrid strictly because of him and just, like, met everybody out there that played with him and coached him and went to a Real Madrid game. And it's just, I don't know. It wasn't even, I wasn't feeling for him even at that point. I was like definitely feeling for myself because I helped whatever percentage you want to lay on what I did for him and his legacy. Does he become a fan favorite or not without this messaging and without us doing as much as we did? I don't know, whatever the percentage is. But I helped build his legacy. I helped make him as popular as he was. That was my job. Protect him and make him a global star. And you just traded it. You just threw it all away. You threw all of it away. And not just that he's gone, you traded him and you pissed every single person that in my heart of hearts I'm working for. I'm working for the fans. I always consider in that role I was working for the fans, not if Sint wants something, that's great. If the fans completely disagree, like, we're going to have a conversation. If Mark wants something, that's great. If the fans revolt against it, we're going to have a conversation. So I always considered myself working for the Mavs fan, because I am one. And the decision you just made not only rips away the thing I'd been working on for 7 years, but also pissed every single person off. Universally. And furthermore, it made us a target to be dunked on constantly for the next 2-3 months. And there's some agreements you make whenever you start working somewhere, some unspoken agreements that you make with your employer. And one of those is, like, you're not going to use me as a human shield and completely tarnish my career's work to that point. And that broke that. That completely broke that. So that was my feelings at the time.
You mean like getting dunked on, like Mavs Twitter has to still exist.
Yeah, it has to still exist. There's still sponsorships that are happening.
To their credit, or your credit, or somebody's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it probably would have been a story if you left the comments off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know that you actually deserve credit for that.
Well, everything's a story at that point. That's what sucks.
But I would
there
just
is no move that's not.
I would go
Yeah.
to it just for the comments.
Yeah.
Just to see them, hey, welcome AD to town or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is that you meekly tried to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because this is
that's
an
the
uphill.
other. That's the other thing is like not only is everybody turned on you and everything's a story, there are a lot of different opinions about how this should go now than there were the day before he got traded. There are a lot of different people chiming in that you don't know and you've never heard from in your life.
About how what should go.
All of it. Okay, we traded for AD. We need to go get on the plane with AD tomorrow. Like that type of stuff where it's just like, okay, does basketball ops know y'all want that? It's go do this now, fix this thing, make people like us again right this second.
Oh, and that's on your plate now.
Yeah.
So people that didn't maybe care about what you were doing as much
Yeah.
before, all of a sudden now, like,
Yes.
hey, let's bring in the triage team.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Because I think it's also important to know, and we can go through this, I guess, but everybody knows now that Scott Tomlin left, the guy who was in charge of communications. If you're a
The
Mavs
GOAT.
fan, you probably know Scooter Tomlin by now.
Best dude on earth.
Was fired. He works for Dirk's foundation now, was here forever. He's the guy who brought Dirk back out from the showers in 2011. Dirk was at his mom's funeral, the whole thing. The person he was replaced by, I don't really know, despite my best efforts. I've emailed 4 or 5 times trying to get, this or that moving. Even, I believe, at the end of our time on the ticket. Never got a response. And, whatever, I get it. It's us. It's a podcast. But it's not like you hear a bunch of Mavs players on the ticket or the fan like you used to either. And I started asking people, dude, what is this person's deal? Do I have the wrong email address? The PR for a sports team will email you back and be like, thanks, no. That's what they do. So the person that replaced Scooter, to my knowledge, had never worked for a sports team before. Right? Is that correct?
That's accurate.
So, most people, Mike had worked for the Cowboys before the Mavs. You don't end up as the head of comms for an NBA team without having worked for, the Tulsa Drillers or something, at least. So now we have someone who's never dealt with a basketball trade in any capacity, or sports trade rather, who is trying to manage the messaging and communication after the most controversial trade in the history of the industry.
Expand that a little bit as well. There are, I think, 6 people on the basketball side that have VP and up positions. Nico at the top before you. Well, keep going further. Go all the way up. Of the people that are, I would say, leadership on the basketball ops side, 4 of the 6 had not worked for a professional sports team prior to this season.
That's
Ownership,
the performance guys.
They've
and-
never owned a sports team. Your GM has worked for Nike. He did not work in a. I guess this year's not fair. Go further back. This is their first job for a professional sports team.
But
4
the
of the
GM
6.
thing also, we've talked about this quite a bit. When he was hired, it wasn't really to be the full, you're a traditional GM.
Correct.
It was Cuban's the GM.
Uh-huh.
But you're now my relationship guy. I got my quants over here. I got
You know the people I don't know. You can get in some of the rooms I can't get into because I'm
Right.
Mark Cuban,
But-
and I've either pissed this person off or don't have a relationship
But yeah,
with
then
them.
when the sale happened and somehow, Nico gets the confidence of the new owners
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden now he's doing things he was not actually hired to do, like make a trade all on his own.
But yeah, and
Well,
that's
of
one,
that magnitude.
That's the one we talk about for sure. But I do think it's important, to his point, that there were several people there. This was completely new ground for them.
Yeah.
Which is really in contrast. I remember when Cuban bought the team, and we thought he was going to clean everybody out because he's Cuban. And he's wild and bombastic, and I need my own guys, and he's got his own opinions about everything. But he kept everybody in place. Now, he ended up pissing off Don Nelson eventually and getting in their little match and letting – but at least for a few years, like he kind of kept the structure in place and realized.
Oh yeah, he kept Keith Grant there.
I need to kind of learn from them.
Yeah, you need that foundation if you need some guardrails if you're new because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have bad opinions.
And they buy a team that's really good already.
Yeah,
like it's an NBA Finals. At least adjacent. Pretty close. They were in the.
All you have to say is they have a guy, because there's like 8 of those. They bought a team where they already had a guy.
Like Luka.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You say there's
club.
8 of those. I might limit if the Luka level. There's
right.
Like maybe 3 of those.
You're in the group of we can make some serious cash on this team because we're going to be in the playoffs every year. Gate, which is where they make the money.
And the number one rule is you don't get rid of the guy.
Yeah, and I think, speaking of getting rid of the guy, that's the part that's interesting to me is just the way – I don't know anything about Patrick Dumont. I know a lot more about his mom. But that they didn't have those guardrails necessarily. And, I just wonder – because, like, Mike and I are very close, but I feel weird asking him about Mavs stuff sometimes, especially when all this was going on. Like, I know it was hard for you. I don't think you thought about how hard it was for your friends. Very difficult to be like, I want to talk to him, but like, I would also look at the Mavs tweet replies, and while you were like laughing, I was like, I'm not sure I've ever had a friend in a worse professional position than this one right now.
Yeah.
And when
Was
I
it
talk
you
to you, you
actually?
seem bummed.
You write the tweets?
No. I made it. I made it just a social person that.
But still, you're having to be. I promise. Okay, let's just say this: in the fallout, what are the meetings like?
I mean, they were ranged from where do we go now? Like the internal meetings were ranged from like, what is our message now?
And who's in that? Like Rick is in that. Rick Welch is in that.
He was in one for sure.
Dumont?
No.
And Nico in one, maybe. No.
No.
I thought there was one.
Are you speaking up in those?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I just don't know how opinionated you are in front of people like Rick Welch. Like,
yeah,
that's a fair question, but the answer is always just going to be like, yeah.
What about Mike or Machine? Like, like I would.
Oh yeah,
but I also know others. You might not.
He's more you than me.
Okay.
The president, or I guess CEO Rick he'd been there 40 days. He wanted people to speak up, number one, and just like, what's next? And I mean, I was one of the more tenured people that is skins on the wall across the board.
You and Dwight Powell.
Me and Dwight Powell were kind of leading the organization at one point. No, it was just people would look for me of like, what should we do in service to the fans at this time, or how to move forward. And before the Cooper Flagg thing, it was very much like, next year's a Hardwood Classic year. Like, we got to remind people why they actually care about the Mavs originally, and we can't. we got to talk as little as we can about this team that's about to take the court as possible, because it's just gonna piss people off.
Is that when you reach out to Mark Aguirre?
We're doing that anyway. But
I figured.
Yeah.
At some point, what was the hang up there? Just him?
No, I don't know. I think people had left the organization that, like Keith Grant left the organization, right, and retired, and I think he might have been the conduit to Aguirre. I'm not sure. But people just hadn't reached out to Aguirre, and
it was cool for him. He was balling. His eyes out.
Yeah.
He's actually crying.
Yeah.
So, does it get heated in those meetings? Because I guess let me say this. At the core of it, you can't. The root issue is not one that can be solved. Like, what's done is done. So now,
because nothing like this has ever happened. Like Rick Welch even tried to say, when we traded Montel, like, come on, bro,
not close.
There's nothing like this.
No, not close. No,
and the reason you do it is somewhat PR as well, because in the end, like, if that superstar ends up asking out, okay, now it's off of us. Now the fans can still remain loyal. LeBron, we're going to burn LeBron's jersey because he decided to leave.
You want to come back?
You can't. Yeah, you can't. Of course. Then you accept them back if.
Yeah.
I mean, the first couple of meetings were not productive in any way. It was just people being very pissed off.
Who? What do you mean?
Everybody that worked for the organization on the business side, when we were getting together, we couldn't have constructive conversations because it was just like a whole bunch of just sitting there going like, fuck. okay, fuck yeah. Like every idea we had, we were like, everyone's pissed at us. And there was no ground to be made up. It was like, time is going to have to pass. And I can't make time pass faster for people just to like stop yelling at everyone that worked for the Mavs as if we were responsible.
Yeah, you're not a soup. I imagine some soups could do that if you had that certain power.
I think that's.
You like The Boys?
I was gonna say Stranger Things.
The Boys.
It was The Boys.
Yeah, I don't know.
what
He's
you're
into
talking
a lot. He's having.
I've seen a season. Yeah.
You've heard him. You heard him right.
There you go.
Did you see the one where the guy was getting yelled at because of the tweets for the basketball team he worked for, the superhero? He was a regular guy.
Just like you.
He turned green. He couldn't turn it off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like you.
So I was going to ask you about when the sale happened and Cuban was no longer majority governor and therefore, I guess, not involved in. Well, let me ask you, how involved after that was he? From before, did you just see him way, way less, like communication-wise? Because I imagine his role reduced on the business side and the basketball side, like, together, or no?
No, I mean, he wasn't really hands-on with the business side consistently in my time there.
Unless somebody came through with a dope idea like Mavrello.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you had the one silver bullet, which is
Cuban
Mavrello Bolovich.
Cuban time.
Yeah, I mean, he was like always on the periphery. Like I'd see him and I'd be on emails with him every once in a while. And if I had a problem, I could definitely shoot him an email and he would be like, okay, here's what I would do. And then he would, look, to his credit, dude, he would follow up.
Sure.
Like if I like texted you about something, you might not like follow up like a month later and be like, did that thing get resolved?
Yeah.
He would legitimately follow up and be like, did that thing get fixed?
Again,
like,
to your point.
Or do you need me to talk to other people?
Cuban will email you back that day and be like, I can't do it today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, he was in and out. He wasn't
Cuban to email you back, but not the PR director of the Mavs.
Yeah.
He wasn't like chiming in on my inbox consistently, and we sat in maybe a couple meetings over the 5.5 years, right? But on the basketball side, because he's on the basketball side, I assume, that entire 5.5 year period, and then obviously the sale happens, and I know December 20th is obviously the day it sold. There were some decisions that were still lingering going into the next season, a lot around broadcast in January or so.
December 23?
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. January, we're trying to figure out where we're going to be broadcasting on the next year. If this is going to be another Bally's year, if we're going to figure out WFAA, if a local station is going to take our stuff. And I know he was still involved in that to the extent that someone mishandled something along those lines and they got run for it. And he was involved in it. In the decision to let that person go. But that's pretty much the last time that I saw him involved in really anything on the business or basketball side was January 24. And it was very confusing for everybody internally.
Yeah.
Extremely confusing.
So there was never anything verbalized?
No. Is
like,
this
hey,
sale...
This is now the structure, this is whatever.
Yeah, well, they sent out the proper wording on it, like Patrick Dumont is now governor, which is... I know what that means. We talked at the time. I was like, I don't think this is what Mark is saying it is, but he's saying he's still in control.
Yeah, seeing him holding the trophy after they win the Western Conference was like...
That should have been all you needed to know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just that we've never seen this person.
Yeah, and just like the slow like divorce of like, oh, dad's living at another house. What does that mean? Like, I don't... It was just really, really weird directionally because there were people, I mean, you know, Mark runs a unique business wherever he goes. And there were people in the Mavs who kind of existed to respond to Cuban stuff, to go like, hey, Mark wants to see this thing, let me handle that, I'll run with that, and we'll move on. And he just wasn't there anymore, and it wasn't explained what his involvement was. And he would still chime in on certain things, like maybe once or twice over that next like 6 to 12 months. It's a whole organization that was built to answer to what he wanted. And now he's not there, and there's not somebody in that role. Sint did a great job of like just like filling in there and going like, we're going to do this and whatever, and covering for, I guess, a lot of the stuff that eventually would happen, and a lot of like light that would be shined on the new ownership group. But Man, it was super confusing.
Just as far as like light being shined on them, just as far as how disconnected they were, as far as
And their opinions on things and how their value of
yeah.
employees and
Okay.
just across the board. Like, Scent runs an organization significantly different than they would.
probably why she's not there anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
So they bought it when? Late 23?
December 20th, 23.
Okay, so very quickly Cuban has kind of moved out. You said
Yeah.
January 24 is the last time you saw him in any significant.
At least on the business side. He might have been hovering around basketball stuff, and I don't know where that tug of war kind of ended. I know.
Did they travel in 24 to go see Luka? Did we send a party? Because I don't think that was Cuban.
He was there.
Oh, he was?
He was there.
Nico?
Yeah. That was 20.
swear
That was
Nico was
23.
there.
That was 23.
Okay.
That was going into the 23-24 season that we went to.
Slovenia, no?
No. That's Abu Dhabi and Madrid preseason.
Got it.
Cubans there. They were also there.
The Dumonts?
Yeah.
Before they don't bought. Okay.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, they were a guest on the trip. Dumonts and Adelsons were there.
wow.
Yeah.
They're big fans of the region. That's wild. I guess I didn't think about that. So, was that when you were made aware of them? Hey, who's the?
I mean, I know who
Fat
Miriam
Smurf?
Adelson is. Like, I can pick her out of any lineup because I'm just a person that knows people.
I knew who she was, but I had no idea that she was involved in buying the Mavericks until she bought the
No.
Mavericks.
No.
So back then, were there leading up to December, like that fall, where internally you guys like something's happening?
There's always, over the last couple years, there had been like, Mark's really in the shit now. Like, something's going to have to happen.
Some crypto thing? or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. Whenever, like, FTX, like the Tom Brady backed Giselle Tom Brady crypto thing, they were like, Mark lost the money on that.
Bankman,
Yeah. It was like all of that stuff. And then, we had a deal with like a crypto wallet company that went belly up, and it caused like a whole bunch of like weird lawsuits and things like that. And I knew Mark was staked on that stuff at some point, right? And I know he was trying to launch cost plus drugs and things like that, so his interests have always been kind of like, it's always there's a side thing going on, but you don't know like how into it like he was or how much financially he's into it. And then there was just always whispers of like, hey, Mark might be exiting soon, but I heard that for like 3 years leading up to that. So I never took it very seriously. And
So you
then-
didn't know till it was announced.
No idea.
So
no
how
idea.
How did things change then? You said like Cuban kind of dissipated from the business side, but
Yeah.
like for you guys, how did things change? Did anything get better? Did things get worse at all?
I'm trying to remember the first 6 months or so that they owned the team. It was
Same.
did not matter. We didn't
You're
know
just
them.
plowing ahead, you're just
we
doing
didn't
your
see them. The only thing, I guess, that raised kind of like a red flag in the first 6 months or so, was nobody got playoff bonuses. We went to the NBA Finals and we did not get playoff bonuses.
And how is that different from the past then?
That is the one on the side of the 99s on the other side. 99 out of 100 times that an NBA team has gone to the playoffs or finals, they have gotten playoff bonuses, I'd say.
All people that
Yeah.
work for the team.
Yeah.
Because you're
Yes.
working
Yes.
overtime now. We're doing
Yes.
extra
Dude, I
work.
remember one year,
Yes.
my brother, when he was working for the Saints, I think he made like his salary, and then he made like 80% of that again on like 2 playoff games. You know,
Yeah.
he was making like 32 grand.
So
And they
even
made like 10K per game, and the Saints won.
even one round,
Yeah,
you would get playoff bonus?
for sure. Yeah, I've been there when we went one round, Clippers series. Yeah.
And is your bonus how much is it? Is it a percentage of your salary?
Depends. Yeah, it depends what position you have. It's not like life changing, but it's
10 grand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, especially after working for 2 extra months.
Yeah, because, that, like I said, is where they're making their money.
Yeah.
So if you're going to work all that time extra, they have to, they got to give you a kiss.
Well, I guess they don't.
Yeah,
You aren't obligated to.
You went all the way to the finals.
Yeah. Just like you're not obligated to like give Rondo a playoff check or whatever. You'll realize this stuff if the situation gets weird enough. But yeah, we worked for 2.5 extra months.
So that has to poison the atmosphere a little bit.
Yes.
Was it ever addressed?
It was addressed as if it was going to happen. It was stated that it was going to happen.
And then it just
That's
didn't.
even worse.
And it's way worse because now you know they know, and it's not like, oh shoot, I didn't know y'all do that.
Yeah, and then it didn't get ultimately approved. And that was one of the first ones where I was like, huh, that's a really weird. There's very few ways you can tell an employee in a meaningful, impactful way that I care about you and you're valued and like I really appreciate what you're doing. Compensation is like number one. It's number one. And if every other team does it and just about every other sport does it and we're used to it, and we've worked for a guy that was very generous with his money over the years, and the first chance you get to go, hey, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are doing a great job. This is meaningful. Thanks for making us, some number of $1 million per home game.
Boy, and that's extra hurtful just because then they were told, hey, this is what everybody does. Mm-hmm. This is how it's done. And they said, okay, we'll pay. And then they didn't.
They didn't. Wow. But if you think about like the timeline, there was that whole pager attack to plan, and that stuff takes money.
I don't even know what you just said.
Just what I said.
I know what he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have, look, Mark had other interests, so do the Adelsons.
I think
it just happened to be a genocide.
To answer your question, Dan, of like when did things start changing, I guess the thing that through the first like 6 to 10 months or so that started standing out because there was a lot of arena stuff that was planned, because there was a lot of broadcast stuff that was happening. What I slowly started to realize is they had no idea what they bought. Zero idea what they bought.
It's like
in terms of financials, books, future 3 to 5 year plan, how this works, how this functions.
The broadcast part of it is probably
broadcast, and I bring that up because the broadcast part links directly to that bonus situation. They bought the team and did not realize there's going to be this gap year before Amazon jumps in where we're actually going to lose money on broadcast no matter what. And they got in and they had big plans early on and they wanted to do this and that, and they realized someone tapped on the door and said, did you know we're going to lose tens of millions of dollars on broadcast this year just because Bally's sinking and we aren't on Amazon yet? And they did not know that. And everything changed from then.
Damn. Well, the good news is they were able to stay in the black.
Of course,
that's the important thing for sure.
For the next couple of years.
I mean, but sports ownership is, Cuban famously would say, I lost money like every year I own the team. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But when you do sell the team, then you kind of make it all back and a lot more.
For sure. That's part of owning a team. It's a long-term investment. It's a place to, like, private equity is getting involved in sports ownership for a reason.
Yeah.
Because of a long enough timeline, you're making a lot of money. But they had no appetite for a loss.
That's wild.
So,
anything you buy, right? Like we bought the lake house and knew, like, well, we're going to lose money renting it out but we're going to profit when we sell it. Is that no one told them that?
Yeah.
That's the name of the game in sports.
So besides having to work tons of overtime and then really not getting paid for it, did anything else like significantly change just for you, your job? Were there other people chiming in on what you should do, or they kind of left you alone?
No, from that point on, it was not really. I mean, we were really solid. We were large. We had 25 people, I think, on my team. Like, we were one of the more stable, one of the more competent engines of the organization. So, and I also don't have to, like...
They didn't know what you were doing anyways.
They don't know what I'm doing anyways. They don't care. They're just like...
It ruled.
Yeah. I'm just like, we make $4 million each year off sponsored inventory. Cool. Everybody happy with that? All right. See you next year. It was that kind of deal.
And even $4 million for a team, I would imagine that's kind of under the radar. It's
not. Yeah, whatever. That's exactly right. Like, tickets is 80 to 100 million, right? Other sponsorships inside the arena, whenever you see whatever on the skirt of the court is, that stuff's whatever. I don't know, 50 million or something. Like, it's pretty low stakes. But it's also, that's the balance with doing any sports team and being in content for a sports team is like, it is the thing that fans know you by. It is your most immediate connection to the fans is content and social and your presence in media. But it also doesn't make you like a ton of money, so you got to thread this needle between like spending enough on it and doing it well, but not getting where you're dumping $8 million into it every season, unless you are the Lakers or Warriors and can get crazy numbers on your sponsorships.
So what was it like going into this past season then?
Things were pretty good. I mean, it was good. You heard, I think Luka was injured like really early, wasn't he?
There was a pickup game injury in the summer.
Yeah. It was pretty normal. No one was like yelling at people about budgets. They did bring in the summer was a little weird. They brought in like this is a funny story that I don't know if I'll spend a ton of time on, but they brought in a guy who was handpicked by ownership to be the chief financial and information officer. So CFIO. We have a CFO. We have a CTO. So he's just over these people now. And he's there for a couple months. And judging from what he did, he was told to go find the money and fix the money. Like, he's in there just slashing people's budgets. Like, just going nuts.
How did Roundball talk?
It's pretty low spin. Well, this is after he's gone.
Okay.
This was during the summer. He comes in there and he's there.
He's a bushwhacker.
He's there, yeah. He's a bag man. He is showing up to take the money out, and I will find you. I will get y'all even again. And he's there for maybe 3 months, and he's gone. One day, just gone. And I have to believe that's sent. Going like, this ain't working, dude. Like, you got to get out of here. Like, I'm not standing for this. And then, yeah, pretty early on in the season, Sint let us know she was leaving, which is weird.
I'd love to know her candid thoughts on working with the Devons.
Do you think it's all related?
For sure. For sure. Yeah. But she let us know, I can't remember the date exactly. She gave us like a couple, 2-3 months maybe, of after this date, retired. Well, it was end of the year. So it was maybe a month into the season. She let us know she was going to retire and step away. And then it instantly becomes, okay, like there's no one internal they're going to bring in to do that. Is this going to be someone from the family of ownership that runs like the Sam's company or something like that?
Yeah, I thought we were getting the nephew.
Yeah.
We have like a Kendall Roy fail son somewhere in the mix here, and I thought he interned for Cuban for the basketball team.
So
Yeah.
do you believe that if Cuban never sold the team, obviously Luka's still there, but Sint is still there, you're still there. I don't remember if Scooter left before that because Dirk hired him away.
Oh no, Tomlin would have stayed, I believe.
Tomlin left in
Tomlin would
23.
have gone.
Certainly
Casey would have stayed.
Athletic trainer who went on to win Athletic Trainer of the Year.
Yeah.
With the Knicks.
I don't think the issue was Tomlin leaving. It was that they replaced him with somebody who didn't do sports PR, which Cuban would have done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it were a different person.
Yeah, Tomlin left in before the 23 season. The Abu Dhabi Madrid trip, he was basically already gone, but he went on the trip because they let him bring his wife and have a nice goodbye trip.
How was Luka to deal with?
It was different from the beginning to the last couple of years, I would say. Like, it got more difficult, more people to run things through, and more people to like get a yes out of before you could do something later in time. But that's a global superstar. That's not it. I'm not judging his like character or anything.
It was
by
never
him.
upsetting.
No. He was honestly great. Like, person to person, great.
Because even us dealing with him after having dealt with Dirk all those years, that's the thing. When you raise the bar,
Yeah.
with personal relationships with Dirk, you know, and then all of a sudden, anyone who follows Dirk, you'll say, gosh, they're not Dirk.
Right. That's not
Anyway.
fair. That's not fair. And I dealt with Dirk a lot as well, right? And I know going in there, like, I was hired the month after he was drafted. And so I think Bobby was the first person to do anything with him on camera. I was the second person to do anything with him in terms of a bit. Bobby interviewed him. I did stuff with him at the first media day. So we've known each other for a long time. And I've seen him kind of evolve where the first couple of years, it's like his mom's there and she's the agent, you know, and it's like very easy to get things done. And it's like whenever a person is reclusive or doesn't like the spotlight or whatever, like, I'm not mad at somebody for being that way at all. Like, I don't judge you if that's not your personality. Just because it's ours and we like to talk on radio and do video and all this shit and we're comfortable with it, like, if someone's not, I've never had a problem. I know people would critique him, and there's been a lot written about, like, doesn't like doing media, hates media stuff, and it's like, okay. And?
Yeah, I think the bigger thing that people try to get a judge on someone's character is, like, Dirk would always treat everyone top to bottom really well.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ideal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, Dan knows from his friend who works in Cleveland that, like, when Kyrie was early in his career, he did not.
Yeah.
And we've known enough guys who play for these teams, and some of them don't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of probably expected.
Yeah, he's on the good side of that.
But I do know that
1000% of how he
the
treats
small
people.
interactions, it just seems like he's got that part down. I don't care what you do after that.
Oddly enough, because sometimes you say guys change for the worse, Kyrie, I believe, has changed for the much better.
Oh, he's the very rare Kyrie Beltre.
He's grounded, got a little grounding shoes.
Do you guys care if I piss?
I don't care at all.
Would that bother anyone?
Are you going to get up first?
You
want to
wanna-
do it right there?
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay, I've seen that.
Do you want to make a break or just?
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
It's almost break time.
Is that what you meant? Because I want to keep talking about
We can
this
keep
just
talking
a little
about
bit.
whatever you want.
Oh, well.
Disability Pride Night is Thursday, July 10th, and with the theme ticket, fans take home a Cardinals cap featuring the Disability Pride flag and Cardinals in Braille. Details at cardinals.com/theme.
Lead that one.
Saturday, June 28th at the Kessler Theater in historic Oak Cliff, Texas. It's a Skylark Soul Company showcase presented by Josie Records, featuring Paul Shalda. We'll also have the world premiere of his new video, Joey, a beautiful, soulful collaboration with Adrian Quesada. Plus, the funky, bluesy, soulful sounds of Michael Lee and the Wartime Limousine. Your boy Luke Sardello will be on the decks, and we'll have a Josie merch pop-up with a very unique opportunity to score Daniel Bayless's new project, Sir Daniel Esquire. A sound that exists somewhere between Chet Baker and Radiohead. Vibraphones, vintage synthesizers, and space-age exotica propped up by ancient drum machines. Don't miss this incredible night. Get your tickets right now at thekessler.org.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Disability Pride Night.
Let's give Game Day Men's Health a little love. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Look for a location near you. Go get yourself some tea. 10% off for life on the TRT treatments, if indeed you mention the Dumb Zone. So check out Game Day Men's Health. Thank them for sponsoring our studio. Like, where would we be without Game Day Men's Health? And
who's going to be thanking them?
No puppet.
Your wife.
All right.
Or your side piece.
knocking it out.
Or your side piece. Yes, you'll be able to keep up with the side piece.
You might need
a tri-piece.
You might need a tri-piece.
And also wanted to plug DZ TV. If you didn't know, we are on TV every night.
We got a TV show, Mike.
It's pretty tight.
At one point, I was on
Channel 27. Channel
we
27 nightly, 9 o'clock. Search DZ TV.
Why am I getting emails that I was nominated for some TV award?
Because you were. We won.
We won.
Yeah.
We won a telly.
You won an Emmy?
Well, I have a bunch of those. Those are old.
Yeah.
A telly.
He's up for Sportsman of the Year for the Lone Star Emmy.
Yeah. But telly for our specific TV show, Roundball Talk.
I thought Roundball Talk was coming back under D Magazine until last weekend. It was brought up, and he's like, no, why would we do that?
How did Roundball Talk experience change once the Luka trade happened?
Well, I mean, I lost Jake at the same time, so
the co-host.
So was there like an inference? Hey, we got to be positive about the Mavs, and Jake was just unable to.
I'll tell you my perspective from it.
No.
I texted him that morning, and I was like, "Hey, this could get weird. So let me know if you want to have a conversation. Maybe we can find some parameters here." And he was like, "Do whatever you want. I'm not your boss." And I was pretty chill about it for like 4 or 5 days, I would say. Chill. I wasn't standing out. But then there were there was 1 or 2 articles in particular where it was like, dude,
That you wrote?
No, that reporting had come out, about how things had unfolded and some of the comments they were making. And I was just like, okay, I can't. And I knew at that point. So that's when I zeroed in on that April 9th game and rallying people for that. And Mike just said, hey, the lady who's in charge saw this and said, if you want to, keep doing the show, you probably got to chill on this. And I said, well, I love doing the show, but that means I'm not doing the show. And Mike was like, respect, had fun. And it was.
Yeah, did she not know
the second
you
most fun
walked
I've ever
away
had.
from a very lucrative 5-year?
I'll burn money on fire like it's nothing, lady. Don't test me.
Yeah, what was that? I guess
it's like we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah,
I know how it's gonna
think
go.
about that for you. You're trying to put a good face on the franchise and everything, and then Dumont
they were making it pretty hard.
just does some other rogue stuff. Like, hey, I'll just go to this local luncheon and shit on Luka.
If only he had the work ethic of Shaq.
And that was the thing too. Is like, I'm Dirk guy, you're Dirk guy, Bob's Dirk guy. We're all Dirk guy. But to me, like, even among that crew, like, Mike is Dirk guy in the same way that James Austin Johnson has a good trump. Like, I'll still. He created the 41-21-1 ceremony, like, from his brain over the course of a year. And that's, like, one of the greatest, like, honoring of a figure that has existed in my lifetime. So, when Dumont did the copy, and it's clear that he doesn't even really know who Dirk is, that, to me, all I could think about was Mike. Like, he still works for this
Did
dude.
you guys ever reach out to Dirk and he denied being involved in a project to help make them look better?
I didn't personally, but that definitely happened. They asked him to do something, and he was like, let's sit a few plays out.
Because it was I mean, even to the Cooper Flagg thing the other night, it was narrated by Troy Aikman.
Yeah, I did that.
And not Dirk.
Yeah. He sent a video, though. He sent a congratulations video.
He did send one, and even then people were breaking it down like...
He didn't really...
The fans.
Congratulate, He loves the fans. He loves the city. He didn't really say, what a great organization that you're joining.
Yeah.
And, I mean, actions speak very loud. To have Dirk in the stands in L.A. Like, he only went to 2 Mavs games after the trade, right? And one was in L.A. and one was Luka night here.
That's right, yeah. I think so. As far as I know.
So you wanted to leave. Like, things had gotten to a point where, because you have indicated here, you're not upset that you're whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you actively look to leave? Like, you're at D Magazine now. We can talk about that. But
when the trade happened?
Just
specifically?
At some point, did it become like, I gotta leave? Like, this is happening, these people are leaving. Is that what happened? Like, I don't want to answer your question for you.
Sure.
Like, why did you leave, I guess, eventually?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you're kind of the frog in the pot and it starts boiling and you don't realize, like, it's boiling around you. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things were changing. A lot of people were leaving. Sent left. I was like, okay, let's see what Rick Welts is about. And I don't have a relationship with him. I don't know what he's about besides New Arena. And then the trade happened, and I don't want anybody to think I left because of the trade. That is not what happened at all. But the reaction to and the way you handle things like that does shine light on everything that's wrong with whatever's going on in your organization. And so it just reminded me of a lot of things, and some things got worse, and some decisions that directly affected me I did not have say in. And it was just time, man. It wasn't like a spiteful kind of leave. I wasn't like, I'm getting out of here type of thing, to be honest. Wasn't a great 2-3 months after the Luka trade before the lottery. I think everybody, if you're a rational person, was kind of like, yeah, if this is how things are now in this job, I did not sign up for this. This is not what I agreed to do. And so I'd gotten to an okay place after the lottery. I got to an okay place of cool. Well, I'll build Cooper Flagg the same way I did Luka. Dirk will come back at some point and be a part of the organization, and I'm one of the people inside the organization that is constantly beating the drum for, like, hey guys, we can acknowledge that the team existed before 2000, before Mark bought the team, because that was never been a thing in my time there.
It's a nice opportunity to lean into it too.
Yeah, and that's the Hardwood Classic year. I was like, I dove into that really, really hard. Like, I have a whole storyboard that they're gonna execute next year, and like all this stuff for Hardwood Classic. So I just kind of dove into that, and then the D Magazine thing came along. My friend works there, Mike Palucci, was the sports editor, and he'd mentioned they were trying to level up their game, and met with him a couple times, and I was like, you start setting bars and standards and boxes you have to check for me to be interested in working somewhere at this point in my career. Like, I'm not just leaving to go, bartend or something like that. I've reached a point in my career where I can kind of like demand a couple things and have people say yes or no, and y'all have been there, obviously. And they kept saying yes and kept checking the boxes, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, the toughest thing for me is not leaving the Mavs or leaving working for a basketball team or leaving the person I reported to or whatever. I had a team of 25 people that have been through the same things I've been through, and that was probably the toughest part of it. The rest of it's just business at the end of the day at this point.
Do you have a team and everything, or
with the magazine?
Yeah.
Do I work for you now?
Yeah, Jake. I just managed Jake, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a different thing.
Yeah. No.
I'm pretty used to you just being like, F you. Like.
So
you're a Mavs fan, right? You grew
absolutely,
up a Mavs
dude.
fan,
I grew up here in South Arlington. I went to Mavs camps. Like, I was 9 years old and losing my shit when Brad Davis walked into the gym at my Mavs camp.
Are you able to admit that that's the second worst retired number in the NBA?
In the NBA, that's tough. I don't know all the numbers in the NBA.
Well, I do.
He does.
Well,
he knows them all.
I researched them all. Jungle Jim Loskatov is the worst,
Okay.
stat-wise for sure.
There's a White for the Celtics.
Okay.
Bench White. They retired his number.
They got a lot of those.
I think Bobby Phills might have more impressive numbers than Brad Davis.
I mean, maybe he was
Bobby
good
Phills
at drinking.
Only got in there for car racing. Or not being good at car racing.
No, I was going to say car racing.
Right? That's how...
He got in there for dying.
Well, that's what I mean. He died... drag racing.
Yes, but it would be super funny if there was an NBA team and that guy like retired and somehow made it to F1.
But he was so bad at this, like it was like the worst thing he could have done, and we should retire his number.
Yeah, he could play a little bit though. I mean, it wasn't definitely not a jersey retirement level of player, but
what is your fandom like now?
I mean, I've had to kind of like negotiate that with myself, as everybody has in the last probably whenever the lottery was. I definitely want to experience the Cooper Flagg time with my favorite sports team of all time, whether or not they've done things that I disagree with over the previous history. So whenever he starts playing, I'll watch, and I'll be a part of it, whatever level. I think more realistically for me to be all the way back in is it seems like they're really setting up this 3-year kind of time frame. AD's deal is up in 3 years. Kyrie's deal is up in 3 years. Gafford's deal is up in 3 years, to where it's going to be fully Cooper Flagg's team in 3 years from now. And in that scenario, there's a new, I don't think they're going to sell the team, but I think there's probably a new leadership on the basketball side if things don't go correctly. And maybe then I'm all the way back in. Whenever it is just Cooper Flagg's team and we can start all the way back over.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of Nico. To me, this is my personal opinion: is you must get rid of that stench. That is a stench on the franchise. I even see, and people on Twitter, so you can't react to that. You know that better than anybody, but like guys saying, "Oh, this is ridiculous." Mavs fans, you shouldn't boo Nico at the thing. You got to get over it. No, not going to get over it. Going to boo Nico anytime. Why is he still working there? He effed this whole franchise. He totally, he fell ass backwards into getting the number one pick, unless you want to believe that
fortune favors
it's rigged, which I still believe even when I have people tell me exactly how it can't be rigged. There's no way.
Can I add some context to the Fire Nico chants the other night? Because I was there. I was standing in front of those people when they started doing it.
I heard a little bit about it, but go on.
So the pick, whenever the pick was going to be made, they were going to switch to the ESPN version so people in-house could watch the ESPN Adam Silver walkout thing. Like, they're doing a live stream. That's on the court right there. They put the ESPN version on the Jumbotron. Of course, he announces the pick, and the camera on the ESPN feed, not on the thing the Mavs were producing, cuts to Nico. And the fans start chanting that, and all the while, Mark Aguirre is on stage, losing his mind about how just being back in Dallas and people just embracing him and that kind of stuff. And so obviously, I mean, I turned around and I was like, guys, like, this is really weird. It was a collision of trains in my head because I'm watching Mark Aguirre sit there and like start bawling about how Dallas is embracing him. And then in my right ear, like right behind me, people are yelling Fire Nico. And I know Follow got agitated by it because he just wants to get past that. But that exact moment, it was I understand why people did it, and I understand why people wanted them to stop doing it. Like, I get both sides. But yeah, that was the context of that moment. I know it comes out of it as like Underdog Sports just tweeting a video about people yelling Fire Nico at the Mavs watch party. It was 10 seconds.
Yeah, we brought it up yesterday because I had heard from someone that said it played in there, and I was just trying to get to the bottom of whether or not it was like surreptitious, which it wasn't. It's just the luck of the draw. But I do think you kind of have to know when ESPN's going to do a little package before the pick, it's probably going to involve Nico, and it's probably going to involve people being upset with Nico. So you kind of had to know it. I was just suspicious because when I went to the Laker game in April, one of his threes that he made, it might have been the first one, the in-arena, like the circle graphic, was a Mavs graphic, and it was a Luka graphic. And only once did that happen, and I thought, hey, I was a board op.
Well, what about?
I know that occasionally you press the wrong button. You're like, someone proved to me that was a mistake.
Yeah.
But
how are you going to do it?
That's the thing, too, in your job, having to scrub.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Any mention, like, he was the only mention he's the only thing that he's on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
Like, that morning after the trade, are you like.
Yeah, I didn't even know where to begin. I was just like. Yeah, we had a game. We had a game at noon that day in Cleveland. Like, they had to do a press conference before the game.
Like, did someone call you, like, your boss say, you have to get Luka off the website, you have to get Luka off this, you have
to black him out of the video.
I don't really run.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't. No one in the Mavs did that.
No one in the Mavs put, like, the Mavs logo over Luka's face when he...
Nope. No one in the Mavs did that. No one in the Mavs did that. At all. Whoever Dero had editing that video did that.
The rapper.
Yeah. And he put out a statement saying as much. Like, That was their decision. But no, I mean, I luckily don't have to do a lot of scrub. I don't run the website. We can't. It was impossible to even fathom deleting all the things on social media that he was on, so we didn't even try. Banner images, sure, but it's also one of those weird things of like it shows you the divide between like the business side and the basketball side. The trade opened up a lot of that, but like the media guide page still had him on it. I was like, everyone else was told like update this stuff if it's like a consistent running thing, and then like you'd go to whatever the stats page and he's just still on the virtual media guide, and I'm like,
sounds like a well-run machine.
Did y'all not get the memo? So no, I didn't have to scrub anything. I think some of the social managers did, but
what's AD like to deal with?
He's actually fun. He's a fun dude. I mean, all the, whether or not you think like the prank show thing is lame or not, like I don't know, but I just he's actually
give us the truth on that.
Well, I've never watched it. I don't know. I have no idea.
There's only one episode as far as I know.
Really?
No.
I think.
No.
Did it keep going?
Yeah.
Did I miss the big wave of hilarity that?
It was just a special?
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, I thought he was announcing that it's going to be a new show, but then they only had one episode, and now he doesn't live in L.A.
Oh, that must have been.
Next to all those dorks.
I mean, for a dude that is a 10-time All-Star that has a little bit of a reputation of being either, difficult or whatever, my few interactions with him were really cool. Whenever he got traded here, I had to make the graphic like with his stats on it, and he technically had not been to 10 All-Star games yet, so I put 9 All-Star games on there, and he commented on it like, "Hey, it's been 10."
I remember.
And then I corrected it and we put it back out there. Anyway, the first time I met him, I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm the guy that messed up your graphic." And he just like started laughing and like gave me a hug, and he's like, "Dude, it's all good." Like we had a cool interaction.
I never got the idea he was like a bad guy. I think he's kind of a dork a little bit, but I'll take it.
No, I think he's for a professional athlete that is going to be bumping up against billionaire status at some point. Like, pretty cool.
Deal with it, Dan.
Did you have any interactions with Nico? And what was that like?
Very few. No one-on-one interactions, no. No, I mean, the only time I think I had an interaction with him that was with somebody on my team was, I think it was maybe in Memphis or something. Like a fight broke out in a lobby, and somebody thought someone from my team was involved in it because it was super late at night, and it wasn't. And some of the people from the basketball side were saying that it was this person, and I was like, just go talk to Nico. Like, go talk to him and tell him you can't do that in a workplace. You can't say like, "Hey, I think it was you downstairs." Like, you're still working whenever you're traveling. And yeah, I didn't think his answer on the matter was adequate, but
did you work there you worked there a while, like Donnie Nelson was around, Haralabob?
Yeah. Yes.
Pandemic?
Yes. Donnie Nelson used to sit behind me on the plane. We would talk a lot.
Ever talked to Haralabob? Donnie Nelson's like the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never in my interactions with him.
Yeah.
Just the friendliest dude.
Yeah.
You'll ever meet.
Very
never
much a
interacted with
sweetheart.
Haralabob though?
No, I never did.
So we know him better than you?
Yeah, you do for sure.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I want to book him again soon.
Yeah.
I think Bobby knows
politics.
him pretty well, and me and Bobby used to work closely. But dudes on the basketball side, I would never like force my way into like knowing them or having some kind of relationship with them. I think they appreciated that.
Okay, we said dudes, but that may kill my next question of just like, what Jenny Buchek smells like. I want her to screen me so bad.
Just the Pacers coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a coworker of mine for a few years.
She was, yeah.
Am I up audio?
Nope.
So I do want to move on from this, but the press conference is happening, I guess, right now.
Sweet.
Did you see they turned the comments off?
Oh, did they?
Counter programming.
Yep.
Would that have been your decision?
Ultimately, no.
Okay.
No.
If you guys want to know how Nico is going to talk about this whole thing going forward and whether or not you're going to have a spike in one eye or both.
Your relationship and the fans after everything this past season?
Yeah, I think so. I think it will help. Most importantly, I think it just, we're in win now mode and we have a really good team and Cooper adds to that. So I think the fans finally start to see the vision.
Oh, idiots. You guys couldn't even just see this vision that I had?
And I forgive you. I forgive you for being so dull.
Magnanimous of him, yeah.
Just absolutely moronic.
That you just couldn't
now you see it.
Come on. Did you see my vision? My vision was we would get the number one overall pick and add him to a bunch of old injury-prone players.
God. That's the
mean,
thing. He's going to carry it like this the whole time, no matter what.
That's why they have to lose now. They have to lose on the short term. I absolutely want them to. It's hard for me to say that I want Cooper Flagg to be a bust, but here I am. I want that. I just get rid of Nico, and I don't have any of these feelings. But it's all related to Nico. And he's even taking a victory lap over getting the number one pick.
Yeah, when
that's the one thing in all of this he had nothing to do with.
When Cooper Flagg is first team All NBA in like year 3 or 4, you think they're going to be firing their GM? I doubt it. All right. My baseball story for you for the day has to do with Twitter and social media. We could play the Today and Twitter Open, but we're just going to say we're checking in with Evan Grant's Twitter.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in Twitter.
I want to be clear. I like Evan. I think he's a very good baseball writer. I think he's a good dude. He's been very kind to me in my life. I hope he feels the same about me. But he does have an approach to social issues that is not one that I take. And his is, a lot of times it would be referred to as like white knighting. Like if somebody's being mean to a baseball lady on Twitter, Evan Grant is going to be there, like that artwork, shielding the bullets from the hapless females.
The lady who they were talking about getting her number, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lady, the number on her broadcast, if somebody decides that they want to criticize Emily Jones in a way that is because she's a woman, like, oh, well, Emily was hooking up with the players, or Emily's only there because she's pretty, he's going to got that sword unsheathed. Fucking Jon Snow right here for you. So, as we know, the Rangers do not have a Pride Night. They are the only team, to my knowledge, I guess, in MLB, but they may be the only one in sports. They're one of a handful in like 100-plus teams. Now, you can think how you want about that. I'm not really bothered by it. It would also bother me zero if I was at a game and they said it was Pride Night, because my daughter already knows that there are gay people, and it's not weird to her at all. So I don't know. I just don't think it would be. I would not be like, oh, look, pearl clutching. Maybe some people would, if they don't want their kids interacting with any ideas of sexuality at that age. That's fair. I'm not like that, but I could see it.
Have they ever said why?
I think they use the position of like, we're just not interested in getting into social issues. So they view, because basically what it is it's whether you view something as a choice or like that being gay is a sin. So it's a choice. Whereas being, I don't know, I think they do some church nights, right? Like I think they have some nights that are for specific religions. One in particular. But I'm used to, I'm an agnostic or whatever, and I'm pretty out front about it. And I've been aware my whole life that I'm a minority, like in those conversations. I walk into Christmas.
They should have a Pride Night for you.
And it's never occurred to me that we should. But I also understand, and we talked to Steve Noviello about it the other day, and I think there are, a myriad of views within the homosexual community, but he was kind of like, I don't know, I feel like we're done with this. But then, you have other people who feel differently, and one of those people was someone that Evan Grant interviewed and, talked to him about Pride Night and if he's bothered that they do or don't have one, and this guy's tired of waiting and he's going through this and that. So, anyways, Evan was tweeting through it, right? He tweeted out the article, but then Evan's not just going to sit there and let you take shots at him without quote tweeting and replying and replying and replying and replying and replying and replying until he's got to take a break, which is how the story ends. It's a Coop path. The thing is, Coop is like that all the time about everything.
He's like that in person.
I feel like Evan can make a really good baseball point. Somebody's like, F you, you're fat. And he's just like, whatever. But whenever somebody comes back at him on this issue, he's like, I will not be giving an inch here. Mm-hmm. I am the fucking protector of the potential Pride Night. And I will not allow you to come at this throne. So that's the story. I was going to just read you all of Evan's tweets so that you would kind of have an idea, a snapshot of what he's been doing for the last 24 hours. But I pay for this AI song program. So here's Evan Grant's day on Twitter for like the last 24 hours. He's a big Buffett guy. You might remember.
Talk to an advocate for pride recognition at a Rangers game. He's got bigger problems at moment, but still holds out hope for future. Our paywall is dynamic and changes based on algorithm. Better question, if it didn't interest you, why'd you click on it?
All right, see, we're going.
Gets into those fights over, if this is so important, why is it behind a paywall?
Yeah, all right. Well, if you're not interested in it,
got it.
Yeah.
Again, I write the stories. Some people care, some don't. Some care enough to send tweets, making sure to know that they definitely do not care. In regards to today's pride-related story, I want to be clear. I had no angle to pursue. Wanted to tell Raphael's story.
Just Raphael's story.
Wanted to explain Rangers' perspective. Hope folks will read, might have more understanding on both sides. But as usual, it just seems to devolve into name-calling. I will also say I've covered lots of games on Pride Nights, and pretty much universally it just seems like a night when the crowd is very supportive and appreciative. Last night was Pride Night in Baltimore. The crowd was great. Great appreciation and recognition of DeGrom Classic.
That was my favorite tweet.
Mental health.
Okay, hold on.
That was my favorite tweet.
We'll break it down.
Last night was Pride Night in Baltimore. The crowd was great. Great appreciation and recognition of DeGrom Classic. Gotta step away, mental health break. Thanks for those who offered some thoughtful responses.
It was very Albert. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yeah, we stepped away. He took a break.
I did.
Mental health break.
That's got a conclusion of the story.
Sometimes,
Yeah, I think the
that
part
could be
you
a false
zeroed in
flag.
on there, Blake, was one that was very popular in the group chat, and that is when he noted that he had been to several Pride Nights, and they were classy.
So,
and not just a fucking bunch of oil and guys just slipping their dicks all over each other's butt cheeks in the bleachers. It was classy.
Dan, if you would just
They just appreciated Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, if you'd get to know the gays, you'd love them. They're really nice.
He thought it was a freak off. They just appreciated guy working quick through the inning. It was unbelievable. And
They
not
get
even in like a
baseball.
gay way.
That's great work.
And that was Today in Twitter.
My baseball story that I didn't get into yesterday. Okay, a 22-year-old fan has been banned indefinitely from all Major League Baseball ballparks after yelling something about Diamondbacks second baseman Ketel Marte's late mother.
I saw this.
Against the White Sox. Marte was crying, brought to tears by the incident. This incident occurred while he was at bat in the 7th inning. Now, Marte's mother died in a car accident. Just that morning or that in 2017.
Oh.
Yeah. Those.
Then, according to a source,
CBAs ago.
According to a source,
a couple rebrands for the
it was
Diamondbacks.
there. The fan was remorseful for his actions. He admitted that the comments were inappropriate. My question is, was he just yelling about your mom? Didn't know any of the details? Yet this triggered some emotional response in Marte, and then this guy gets banned forever because I was yelling about your mom. Like, yeah, your mother, sucks that, or what, whatever, a mother insult. I would never do that. That's why it was so difficult for me to conjure one up.
Right, yeah. So if somebody was just like, hey, your mom's fat, and you're like, no, she's not, then it's one level of mad. But if you're like, no, she's not, and she's dead, it's a new level of mad. That's what we're saying?
But, I mean, was it Steve Kerr? Did his dad or somebody got killed in Iraq or
Not
somewhere?
Iraq, but yeah.
Vietnam? I don't know.
Possibly Israel. No, he was a diplomat.
Well, he was in college. Weren't they chanting at him? Something like that. And I guess if it was one fan, you could have banned that fan from all games. But when it's an entire section or the lower bowl, that you can't do that. I guess that's the question. The question that no media was looking into, and I want them to. Where's Pablo Torre when I need you? To actually go inside this, and should you have banned this fan, or what was the deal? Because I see the manager afterwards.
His mom's
Torre
dead.
Lavello.
Nice, bro. Nice pull.
Give
him another one.
Yeah. No. I just read this story, so I'm really good on Torre Lavello.
Give him another one that wasn't hired in the last 18 months.
I don't know if I can do it.
All right.
I mean, you could try.
For my friend.
Yeah, he could try.
Colorado Rockies.
Didn't Bud Black get fired?
Yeah, he
so
got
that
fired.
That's fine.
Cincinnati Reds?
Just be happy I did the Bud Black one.
Okay. All right.
Fine.
Although, is it David Bell?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
Isn't it a Bell?
What's next?
Well, then I'll just say David Bell. Do you want to touch Dak?
Oh, God, man.
Terry Francona.
So, Terry Francona in Colorado now?
No.
Whoa, wow. We have lost the plot.
In general?
All right. So,
yeah, we can run through it if you want. I think it's interesting.
Yes. This, though, is one of those things where, all right, everybody's like, oh, you got such a fun job. You just talk and you just do whatever. And, yes, generally it is. And there's very few times that I'm like, gosh, this, on paper, it would seem this is fun and I'm not really doing anything. But people don't understand how hard this is, what I'm doing right now. And we split it up, too. There was an hour video out of Dak playing golf with some nerds. And Jake's like, we should watch this and get the audio. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I'll listen to the first half. You listen to the second half. That half hour, dude, I feel like I'm trying to think of all the things. I could have been studying for my PhD. That could have advanced the research against cancer. I could have helped eradicate certain diseases.
You could have been mining Bitcoin.
I could have been, so much.
Memorized more managers.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, right? Cincinnati would have come right to you.
Knock out some kettlebells.
Sure.
Gabe Kapler could have knocked out some sprints.
Run the game day.
All those things
shot.
could have been grounding.
Should have.
Perfect.
But instead, I'm watching Dak or listening. I never saw any video.
Yeah, I listened to it also. It's Dak with good golf.
Okay.
Good?
You had to go to the video, though, to download it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get the audio.
Yeah, and I know these guys now. I mean, over the last.
I'm listening, going, and it's basically they're just playing golf. It's a video of them playing golf. They don't there's nothing funny in it. There's not really a lot of conversation. And I'm like, somebody is watching this, and I'm going to shit my pants when I see how many views this gets, or their average views. Like, I'll bet it's millions, and it's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Well, they've got almost 2 million subscribers.
This hurts me so much.
And if you just want to look at, I mean, this video, which has been up one day, is at 250,000. But they average
like the effort,
half a million to 900K.
The care that we put into what we put out, we actually do give effort. I know it doesn't seem like it, but these assholes are making a golf video with that. Like, nothing in it is redeeming.
Yeah,
half hour, I have nothing good. I have some stuff, but
yes, I have a newfound appreciation for Dude Perfect.
500,000 videos.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
after watching this, you're like, wow, Dude Perfect, they're talented.
Yeah, because if this is like what, and I asked Henry, like, do you know these guys? He said, yeah, and I was like, positive, neutral, negative. He's like, probably positive. You know, they're probably about his age, but
he likes the good golf guys.
Yeah, and Dude Perfect, they have bits, and I've watched Bryson's channel. Right, that's another thing that's kind of similar to this, where you've got like the cart cam, and they're having conversations, and it's just an hour of a round of golf. Bryson's is actually really entertaining because he's like a freak show golfer that he goes out to the tips at the munis and is like, "Can I shoot a 20?" And it's a bit, you know. And he's got John Daly or he's got Trump. Both guys on the opposite end of the spectrum from Dak Prescott in the aura category. So it was excruciatingly boring.
Are these guys particularly good at golf?
Yes.
Okay.
Clayton, chime in whenever if you have to unmute him or whatever, Blake, because Clayton knows these guys.
To our golf expert, Clayton.
Well, I knew who they were because
he was on the golf team in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a Dak golf story if y'all want one.
His
Definitely.
Swing looks horrible.
So I knew these guys because I had read a profile of them, and because they're making serious moves. They're from here. That one of their guys is in recovery, and they turned down like a large booze partnership, apparently very lucrative because he's in recovery, which
pretty selfish of him.
I respect everyone's recovery, and there are some people that are like, if I'm even around it, I'll lose it, and that's fine. But also, I will never be that gay for you guys. Ever.
Well,
So
in return, I won't not drink around you.
Thank you.
So
thank you. You're fulfilling your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't find it interesting, but I do have a little bit of audio also.
Okay, should we go chronological then?
Sure, why not?
Go my first half hour, or the first half hour. We can start at the beginning.
How y'all doing, and welcome back to another good golf video. In today's video, being a Dallas-based company, we are very proud to have the Cowboys join us.
Hey, here now.
Coming out. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have a 4v4 scramble coming y'all's way. But
And you know what I think about shows that this is going to be a good time. It's a good time. We're good time. We always have fun. This
Hey,
is
how
gonna be
about
fun.
I'll
It's
be
gonna
the judge
fun.
of that?
Yeah. It's great. Oh, it's great. You're great. I'm great. He's great. We're great. It's going to be great. It's not great. It was great before. It's going to be great, and it's great now.
Yeah.
Joining us, we have Will Greer, Dak Prescott, Tad Prescott, and Jalen Tolbert. He's
by the way, did you hear all the names? Yeah.
You didn't
Dak
tell me.
Prescott, Tad Prescott, and Jalen Tolbert. He's pulling up. No, we're going
Tad.
to be teeing off. But
And
the way
Willie
the teams
G?
are going to work, it is going to be Brad, Will, Dak, and Tad taking on Garrett, Sharf, me, and Jalen. It's going to be a great match right here. We already got to play with, all you guys standing here, we got to play with Will, Dak, and Tad the other day. It's going to be a fun match. Come on, baby.
Come on.
Here we go.
Come on.
Was that Dak?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dak gave the
It
here we
came
go.
up again later.
So like, oh, my signature. Hold on. This is time
It's
for
going to be a fun match.
Come on, baby.
Come on.
Here we go.
Here, I'll play one.
Yeah, that's the
White 80.
That's one of the guys.
What's the white
You
80?
didn't study my cadence?
Oh, I study everything.
Dead on, pretty good.
You know what Dak says, right?
Yeah, white 80.
Yeah, I'm a real crack football detective. I've been studying your cadence. I have spreadsheets, ran it through an AI model so that I could get to white 80.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
he knows
Actually, no,
ball.
He does. Yeah, he does it again.
Yeah, white 80.
No.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I actually know everything about
Just
it.
hit the here we go right before then. You got it.
Here we go.
Did you hear me say here
He
we go?
loves talking about his catchphrase.
Hit the here we go.
You got to hit the here we go, though.
Did you notice that?
The sports guy from Anchorman. Whammy!
Like it's the Soldier Boy or something. Like,
Oh, I
hit
know.
the here we
Yeah.
go.
So, I
Here
mean,
we go.
it's like every day. So, what I'll do is we'll just be talking. Then I'll say, I'm Dan McDowell. And then Jake will
Right.
follow. Like, we're talking about the process of this as if it's some big effing thing. Yeah, I mean, the here we go. You got to hit it
He
right.
is operating with intentionality.
So, here they have some boring Cowboys talk, if you want to hear that.
Pretty bad slice there.
And they're golfing.
Horrible.
They're golfing.
Dang.
That's why you hit.
There you go.
Oh, Dak didn't know I had that one in me. Watch out for them lats now.
Borderline offensive.
So you excited for the season?
Yeah, most definitely. But being healthy,
what it's about. Just trying to stay healthy. Yeah, it'd be good. But this OTAs or this mini camps and OTAs were great. Just felt good being back out there.
How long does it take, like, to trust your body again? Like after.
All right, you don't want to hear any of that.
No,
do you?
I do,
Let me
but
fast
I have a chaser for you on that one too. It's just Dak being lame.
Yeah.
The team's just dropping like flies. All right, Dak. It's a tie ball game. 5 minutes left in the fourth. We got the ball.
5 minutes. Let's go. Just run our offense then.
Run our offense.
Yeah, run our offense. Play our game. Nothing we got to do out of the ordinary.
Nope.
We don't have to try too much.
Yep.
Let's just finish.
Hey, we appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys
and Will
having
and Tad. It's been a fun day.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully we do
We'll
it
have
again.
to do it again, no doubt.
Let's get this win first, and
then we'll worry about
win
that.
the next one too.
Yeah, man. Just run our offense.
5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, think about it once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once I've rehabbed, and especially the doc says you're good to go. Because if I do that, I know just slow, like, it's one more thing that I think about, and I don't need to think about it. So.
You already got enough to think about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If there's 5 minutes left, he's dumping that ball into a linebacker's chest.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't start trying to
5 minutes left. I'm going to get the ball 3 more times.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a couple picks real quick.
There were only like 3 moments they actually had. Like, they're golfing for 10 minutes, and then there'll be like 30 seconds of them talking, small talk.
What team do you grow up rooting for?
Cowboys.
Louisiana? Yeah, I was going to say, you might. Because I know Louisiana's kind of split with.
Yeah, then they talk like for a minute about that, how he liked the Cowboys and stuff.
It's great.
And then the other guy, whatever guy he's talking to.
It was the best, bittersweet.
Sharp dog.
I'm the same way. Dad grew up. Dad's always been a Cowboys fan, so I just
followed suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football's my favorite sport.
Okay,
Cool, man. I don't know.
Badass.
But
where are you on pizza?
You like ice cream?
These people are millionaires.
But the reason we're there is the beautiful game, golf.
I'm glad you said you caught the bug finally this offseason.
No, I have. Yeah. I got the real bug.
KP
So
bug?
you played before.
He caught the bug, the golfing bug, of course, which will strike us all either when we're 75. I feel it coming. Why not? If you have all day, every day to do nothing.
Because you could do literally anything else.
Well, that's true. But, it does kill a lot of time. And you
But
get a
for
lot
most
of steps.
people, for
You
sure.
get a lot of steps. Or if you're like a multi-millionaire, right?
So you played before, but you finally got.
And I've really only played before just because my brother's kind of always been into it, teammates and stuff like that, and then people just expect you're a quarterback, you know how to golf. And so it's like,
Tad
come
was
golf.
into
But I
it.
mean, I never even played at all until I was drafted.
Yeah.
Then I didn't like it, early on because they expect you to be good, you suck, and they're like, dude, I don't want to play this. I'd rather go throw the football. You can't beat me in that, But then it's fun. It's a game, you versus you. And I think, honestly, that's why I didn't like it earlier and younger when I first started, a couple years ago, was because I was trying to play other guys. And it's like, I'm not good enough to play them.
Yeah.
Like, play yourself.
No, for sure. It's a game where it doesn't matter how good you are, it's always going to be frustrating.
Yep. It's a game.
You always you set new expectations for yourself.
It's a game. Someone told me it's a game that's never mastered.
Yeah.
Can't stand
never
this.
perfect it.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. At the end there, they're like...
Someone told me it's a game that's never mastered.
Yeah, that's true. You can never perfect it.
Yeah.
Not like all those other games. You know how, like...
You just stop.
Like, I love how all the great
unique.
pitchers, like Nolan Ryan, never threw a ball.
Mm-hmm.
He mastered it.
Done
Everything
and
was
dusted.
perfect. Everybody wants to act. When you're a golfer and you're talking to a golfer about how great golf is, they want to act like this is the...
Boy, there is no more exclusionary conversation.
It's a good walk spoiled.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe.
like this is definitely a gym nance
Maybe
conversation.
the guys who flew those bombs 36 hours on the B2s know what we go through out here in between the lines as golfers, but no one else.
I can tell why it's frustrating for him just watching Blake's screen over here because he has a dog shit swing.
Yeah. Dak does?
Yes, dude, it
Tad's
is ass cheeks.
What about watching his throwing motion? Did you see and thought this is probably going to...
It's going to translate well?
No, dude, his that's not surprising. Dak is not the most fluid guy in the world.
He's very stiff.
Yeah.
What's your Dak golf story?
Oh, so when I was with the Cowboys for that season, they do a Cowboys golfing event. You've probably seen or pulled audio from it previously at some point, but it was they do it. I think they do it preseason, if I'm not mistaken, or early on. I don't know. But anyway, it was my year there was Zeke's suspension, not suspension year, where he was having to go to Sherman every Wednesday and be in a courtroom, and so I'm on the video team, and we're supposed to be with one player and just follow one player around for these 3 holes and then jump off and get on somebody else's cart and whatever. And so Dak comes rolling around and they've got just 3 or 4 like tequila drinks. They're getting after it because they're having to ride in a golf cart with like the CEO of Kroger or something. And so they're just like, we're gonna have a good time. And I'm running around chasing him with a video camera and just get a different angle. And I brought a speaker because I'll bring a speaker.
Damn, dude.
I'm gonna bring a speaker.
Never seen him show up without one.
I'm gonna bring a speaker.
Brought one to my house Sunday.
Yeah, I did.
What does this mean?
What do you mean?
When you're like, I bring a speaker, like a...
He brings a Beats pill or a little speaker like everywhere because sometimes we don't have one. And he pulls one out of his pocket and he's like, we will always have music. If
What for?
Music.
Okay. All right.
Want everybody to have a good time.
Vibes.
Okay. Anyway, this has always been me.
I know.
And so I had one.
Unfortunate thing is you end up having to listen to a lot more Childish Gambino than you want to. But
Hey, jokes from 5 years ago, buddy. Okay, calm down.
Everyone's grown up, I guess.
Turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
And so we're riding with Dak, and I'm like, and I set all my stuff in the back of the cart, and he sees that I have the speaker back there, and he's like, hey, crank that speaker up. And I'm like, cool, okay. And this is whatever 8 years ago, where I'm not just gonna start playing stuff. I'm like, here, man, play whatever you want, have a good time. And he just goes, do you have any train?
I forgot about this. I knew there was something from the past where I knew early on that we were absolutely screwed.
I thought,
Train is so much worse than Creed.
Way
dude.
worse,
I'll take
brother.
a Creed quarterback any day of the year. In fact, I want a Creed quarterback.
I'd love it. I would love a Creed quarterback.
I want a Creed quarterback.
Josh Allen listens to Creed.
Yes,
1000%.
unironically, and it pumps me up too.
And so I'm like, no, I don't. But if you like, maybe can stream it out here. I'm not sure. And my first reaction was like, maybe there's a new rapper that calls himself Train.
Is this One Train, the ASAP song?
Yeah, I'm like DJ Train or something.
Are we sure this guy's gonna play in front of Jameel Showers?
And at that point, I tap out. I'm like, here's my phone, dude. Do whatever you need to do. And he just pulls up like Spotify playlist Best of Train, and is just screaming along to the fucking lyrics.
This is what he listens to.
Dude, we just got mixed Romo.
Yeah. And at that moment, I knew he's never winning a Super Bowl. Like, I fucking knew.
God damn it.
He is
the whole locker room's hearing this.
He is screaming this song. Like, he is just like full on, like, knows every word to every Train song.
So the locker room is just...
I got receivers named George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb.
Shoddy actually loves this.
Don't those
this
guys
is
sound
lasting
exciting?
during ping pong days.
Yeah? A running back named Jaden Blue. Huh?
Yeah, man.
Those guys have never even heard of Train.
They don't know Train.
They know one type of Train.
Kill it before the stream gets taken down.
All right.
Yeah, turn that down.
I don't know what you wild cards are doing over there.
Yeah.
This is the moment where I thought, real generational divide.
What do you mean? That was in the center of that was in the center of the hole. That was in the center of the hole.
Why don't you just wait till the ball's in the hole?
Well, because it touched the lip, and I was like, oh, and then it went, oh, and then we went,
I agree.
This is good.
Yeah.
The hole. And that was in. That was in the freaking hole.
Yeah.
It's just dude perfect golf.
Oh, and then it went, oh, and then we went,
This is all the guys that... This is literally just all the guys that teach Vacation Bible School.
Dude, no doubt.
And went and just like, let's just film us playing golf on Saturday.
oh.
All right, then, I had to
just
get... This is my last one, Dan, and we'll go to news.
When they make video game characters just do a different game, it's just here Mario Golf. It's just dude perfect golf.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's a basketball
It's a
version.
knockoff version.
There's a slow pitch softball edition, but this is dude perfect golf.
I think there's a ghost store laughing here. Minor one.
I got what I wanted out of that.
Boys.
Got what I
shouldn't
wanted
have brought
out
my
of that.
driver out here.
Why would you listen to me?
That's my fault.
Dak's going to say something.
I was listening to you.
Ain't no pressure, you guys got it.
Sticking a ball.
It made me pressure if, like,
Out of my shoes.
I was known for hitting a good driver.
Okay, it wasn't a perfect trail off, but it was pretty good.
No.
Do you know our bit from I Think You Should Leave Ghost Tour episode?
Yeah, didn't he fucking crash out of the ceiling in here? And
the laughs, the tour laughs. Dan might be able to find one. I noticed shortly after that, I went to Fenway, a tour of Fenway.
Uh-huh.
And it was a bunch of adults, regular people, normal people, probably good people. And then my wife and I, and you realize in a group like that, everybody, when there's a slight punchline, does. You have one, Dan?
Welcome to the Larbert Oaks Mansion Ghost Tour. Built in 1887, 5 generations of Farsleys have inhabited this mansion, and an unusual number of them have met their deaths under suspicious circumstances. Bad for them, but good for me. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a ghost tour.
I contend that's the funniest laugh that has ever existed.
Okay.
And people are sending them to me now, and they're on like kid tours and shit. The courtesy laugh.
But you were on your own tour, right?
I was, yeah.
Right around that same time.
Yeah, and then I recorded it at the time and thought, this is, I mean, nothing funny. Nothing even approaching.
Y'all don't get the joy of working in like a corporate setting anymore, or in like a large business setting anymore. But it is always like, just please say anything that I can like get this laugh off, like just anything on the fucking fringe, where I can just be like,
dude. I seriously do hope that when we hear Dumb Zone look at our paychecks, even at the ticket, we remember that is a part of life that I would gladly give you 10% of my salary to not have to deal with.
God damn, I hate golf.
The trainings.
Yes, trainings.
The meetings, yes.
I was thinking we could use some training.
For what?
Just your whole attitude, everything.
all your bullshit.
Bullshit training.
Tony Robbins.
Bullshit training.
Okay, let's see here. Dan, what do you know about the Liver King?
God, I've heard more about the Liver King recently. What is the Liver King?
Well, the Liver King,
if you tell me, I might have a vision.
He's a guy on social media that is like a fitness influencer, or fancies himself as such.
Okay.
His name is Brian Johnson, not the fitness guy who tracks his son's boners and wants to live to 200. Brian Johnson, different one.
Brian Johnson, was that the original Leprechaun reporter?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was.
That's such an uncommon name.
It's crazy. So this guy, his whole bit is extolling the value, virtues, benefits of eating raw liver. Like, he's yoked out of his mind. He doesn't look healthy. He's on steroids. He got busted for steroids. And then he was in some trouble because he was kind of trying to like sell these fitness regimens and coaching programs where he's like, I just eat liver. And he's, benching 500 pounds. But he was like on steroids. Lots of them. People figured it out. He did an apology and then was like, no, I'm clean. He's not. He's also crazy. As somebody who like maxes their testosterone to the highest levels possible and lives alone and just eats liver and lifts weights will do. He always seemed a little unstable, but then I think he had a mushroom trip that one-shotted him, because people who follow his content say that sometime in the last year he had a mushroom trip. Are you guys? I thought somebody was shaking their head over there. Hey, if we got any Liver King fans in the house, and he lost his mind even more so, and that his posts have been crazy since then, even more so.
And is he another guy with millions of followers? And
3 million when I looked this morning. Okay. But I don't know that he's like making good golf money. I think he just has a lot of followers and has done some successful grifting. Well, he was arrested Tuesday in Austin, where he had traveled, or said he was traveling to. Yeah, he had traveled there to fight Joe Rogan. He started posting videos online saying that he was headed to and then in Austin.
But Joe Rogan wasn't
engaging with him at all.
Okay.
This was a one-sided situation. He said things like, I'm talking about somebody whose name rhymes with Rogan. I don't know. But it was clear, and it was clear enough that when it came across Joe Rogan's desk, he called the cops. Or someone on his team called the cops. And the guy was arrested in Austin.
Okay.
He got out, and he went right back to posting. So I'm just going to give you a little sampling of the Liver King's most recent post since he's been out of jail. And you can just play it, Clayton. You guys can.
I'm calling you out.
There you go, Dan.
What's wrong with his abs?
I'm picking a fight with you. Yeah.
He is wearing a wolf's head.
In jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt.
He's holding a golden AK-47.
I'm picking a fight with you. Your rules. Whatever you want me to weigh, I'll weigh it. I weighed 190 this morning. I'll come to you whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to go. I'm on a vibration plate, by the way.
Now he's just going to kind of get his vibrations going. Just kind of dancing. Okay. Yeah, you can see enough there. So this
He's
is
on board with grounding.
This is after he went to jail. So I have a feeling he'll be going back.
He has
he went
kind
right
of a
back.
fat belly, but it's muscle belly, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's cool.
That person is not healthy, though.
An Audi.
I want to make sure you don't
Belly
look at
button.
that and think like, oh, man.
No, I don't think I'm gearing for that. Do you ever...
Looks like a Ninja Turtle.
Dude, that was by far the funniest line in Tires for me this season because I've been trying to think. I told TC yesterday I was 95% of the way there. I've been trying to think of the proper term for CrossFit ladies of a certain height. And like Marjorie Taylor Greene is this. I had an ex-girlfriend who became this.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody in Tires, because it's the guy whose girlfriend does CrossFit, they're like, yeah, they found out my girlfriend does CrossFit. They started saying she's built like a Ninja Turtle. And I was like, God, I was so right there. Ever since I saw that body, since I was a little kid, I knew I've seen that before. It's a Ninja Turtle.
I haven't seen that episode yet. We just great minds.
It's right there.
Do you think in Austin, you never hear about like, hey, I saw Joe Rogan here or there?
You do.
He hang out a lot?
Yeah.
Out? Okay.
I think he has a lot of property, doesn't he? He doesn't have to really go anywhere.
You know who I hear more of is Alex Jones.
That you see him out?
The wash guys are seeing Alex Jones picking up his to-go enchiladas like all the time.
Really?
Yeah. A couple of legal updates here. Listen, you got your THC, so don't get greedy. You're not getting the hub. All right?
Oh, really? No,
U.S.
we're not turning
Supreme
that
Court
back on?
this morning. The U.S. Supreme Court actually ruled that our law requiring those websites to verify the age of users is unconstitutional. Oh, wait. Did I get this backwards?
Sounds like you're saying the opposite of what you...
It says U.S. Supreme Court gives thumbs up to Texas age verification law for porn sites.
Gives thumbs up. So the law is
in
okay.
support of.
The U.S. Supreme Court on Friday ruled that Texas law requiring pornographic websites to verify the age of users is constitutional. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
And that's why you can't use it, because Pornhub will not engage in it. You know what I mean? Like, they could, if they wanted to, go through, and they have their
Do we
points
agree
on why.
with Pornhub or not? Because this is a weird one. Like, I also, have had young kids, and you just worry about such easy access. You want to put a little bit of a roadblock, and you're still able to. But is that also they're now logging that you are looking at porn, and that's
Yeah.
can they ever come back and use that against you?
Of course.
Like the Mitchell report.
In January 2003, Louisiana passed a similar law. Pornhub complied, and there was no regulator. Yeah, I think that is your concern is the correct one for adults having their information out
You
there.
should try it in Abu Dhabi.
I did try in China. I tried in Hong Kong, and I tried in Thailand, and it's not possible. It's possible if you really want to work for it. Abu Dhabi, I'm surprised like a knife didn't just come out of the computer and cut your dick off right there.
Have you tried?
Yeah. Very
Just
very
to see?
difficult. Very difficult. I'm like, how serious are we getting? Am I going to knock on the door?
Yeah.
At this hotel room? Or what's going to happen?
We've been fascinated by the burqa lately.
What about it?
There's a debate. I'm thinking most ladies under the burqa are not good looking.
Most?
Yeah.
Yeah, and TC's always had a thing. I think we really dialed in on it during COVID that with face covering, your mind can get a little. You can fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
And
I like
Jake's theory was that actually those women are keeping it real tight for those guys because those guys are pretty controlling.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to let his wife get all fat.
Some people did push back on that and say, like, yeah, but they do love sweets because they don't drink.
You can drink over there.
Well, you can.
They can, too.
Do the ladies, though?
Which ones?
The ladies can drink. You just have to. It's really weird where you can, though.
Well, because like in Morocco, in the old town, you can't find. You're not supposed to be able to find it. There's not a bar in those walls. That is no go, and that's where we
there's
stayed.
not an establishment that is just for that. That doesn't exist.
Okay,
but like if you're at the hotel, like it was not a problem. Not an issue for anybody.
So was old Jake always very aware of if this is a place I can't drink?
Yeah, but I just want to, and look, I'm not trying to defend myself at all, but I would say most adult Americans, if they go on vacation, alcohol is a part of what are we doing here.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to a country that you know is like, there's a lot of Muslims there, yes, I wanted to be aware. Now, I did not check the porn ahead of time. I found that out. If you want to rank my, I found that one out just sort of incidentally. So there was a fire over in Fort Worth last week. I think it was actually Monday of this week. It was a huge fire, 6-alarm blaze fire at the Cooper Apartments. There's almost 900 people displaced. A lot of these are medical students at TCU. First-year medical students. So there's an article in the Star-Telegram today about like how hard it is to communicate with this apartment company because they were not great about letting them know that it was on fire. They haven't been great in the communication afterward. A lot of people are, chalking this up to, I mean, it's not like your apartment was ever a mom and pop, but you're about as disconnected from the people that own your apartment complex today as you've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's owned, who knows, right? And we had a listener, Heather, who does she work at TCU, Blake?
I don't know.
Let me see if her official title's in here. Anyways, they have a donation link if you want to help with the fire. But probably not help with the fire. I don't think they buy gasoline with it.
It doesn't sound like it needs help.
Right, but help with the recovery efforts.
Water.
Our friend Heather reached out, so we donated a little coin, and the link will be in the show notes.
But to exemplify your point, I think the Sawaz own an apartment complex in Florida on the beach.
Yeah,
that they see like once every 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
What's the Sawaz?
Soroy's.
Oh.
Cash and Mike.
Oh,
you know them.
Oh yeah, they got a cash machine on the beach.
Nice.
It's been there, yeah. And another law for 2 years. Lab-grown meat will be against the law in Texas.
What?
Production and sale.
The sale?
Mm-hmm.
Like Impossible Burgers?
I believe so.
God damn it. There's always some other law like they're not allowed to be displayed near the other meat. And
Okay,
so
hold on.
Okay,
That's
he
plant.
Read,
no,
he
it's
read
not
the wrong shit.
I didn't read Impossible. It's not
He said
mentioned in the
lab-grown.
story. I said lab. I don't eat Impossible meat. That's plant, right?
Plant-based.
Yeah,
but I would guess not grown on the field.
Lab-grown is like when they genetically modify meat. In fact, in this story, there is mention of, big week for the mammoth. There's a company in Australia that's making mammoth meatballs from genetically,
So they're giant?
Hell yeah.
They're huge. Yeah, it takes a one meatball feeds a village whole week.
Mammoth.
They just roll it out there. But no, so Impossible, I suppose,
do
is
they
not
take the
that.
hair off it?
No.
Just the wool is on there and everything?
So yeah, I guess this doesn't apply to your Impossible thing.
Well, then I'll calm down.
Thank you.
I don't recognize most of these companies that do this.
Oh, then it's okay.
What does a prehistoric meat taste like?
You know it's fire.
I bet it's lit as hell, dude.
You know that.
I bet it's the best thing. It's like eating raccoon, like you'll never go back.
What?
Can't say I've heard that before.
I think it's Always Sunny thing or whatever.
What companies, Blake?
Hang on, I closed it out.
I've never gotten into the lab or the plant.
It's not
meat,
your.
really.
It's
not ones your
Believer Meats, Bio Better, Eat Just, Meatable, Super Meat, Upside Foods.
God, those are so 100% a list of brands of why Hillary lost. Just run through it again and tell me it's not. Good grief.
Yeah.
Tough draw. Let's see here. What was my next one that I wanted to do? Oh, yeah. The other law is the Ten Commandment one, which passed and will now be displayed in every school, every public school. It is facing a legal challenge, and it was an interesting one because the first challenge that I read about came from a faith-based advocacy group, and they're doing and I like it because I believe in this, like the from the other side argument of like you're cheapening the brick, like you're cutting our product.
Mm-hmm.
If you just put it everywhere, like, oh, copy and paste it in a classroom with no context, with no one there who's like a religious person necessarily to explain and interpret it, then it's useless. And it cheapens our message.
Mm.
And Greg Abbott was like, that's a great point. We should definitely – no. So it is facing a legal challenge, but this is passed.
And the THC thing is somewhat possibly temporary, right? They're going to have another session and maybe
but
rescind everything he said?
What ends up happening will be different than what we have now.
Okay.
But I don't think it will be full criminalization of any THC at all. I don't think so. And it's interesting because we talked for a long time about like when would weed be legal in Texas, and it kind of is now. And we didn't have a fair or a parade. It sort of happened.
You want to keep it on the down low. If you start to have fairs and parades, then that'll get people up in arms about it.
And then I did want to do a follow-up email from yesterday. So I got an email from a guy. I'll keep his name out of it, but he is the for real like guy that I tell, man, I wish I had your job. He's an American diplomat, and I met him in Lisbon, Portugal, in 2019. Same trip as Morocco, but I said on the show we were going to Lisbon. And a guy hit me up, and he was like, hey, I'm from DFW, but I work for state. Like, I'm a diplomat. I've been stationed in Portugal for the last few years.
Damn.
And he booked us. There's this really special type of like restaurant opera singing thing called Fado. It's hard to get into. He, like, booked it for us.
So what is a diplomat?
Dude, you're just sorting stuff out with other countries without a gun. Like, hey, we've got to figure this thing out. Like, whether it's treaties, whether it's trade.
So you work at the embassy?
Yeah. I mean, you report to the embassy.
Yeah, whenever they say evacuate the embassy, they're talking about the people that are just Americans living abroad.
And his family lives there.
Okay, so there's an ambassador.
Yes.
That's the one you hear about.
That is your boss,
appointed by the
typically.
president. Now, are all those other people appointed by the president, or do they all just kind of stay in place, but the boss changes every 4 years?
They're supposed to be nonpartisan employees that are and a lot of times they do carry over from administration. I mean, my dude here, he's been there for he's at least 2019. So
okay,
they can carry you over administration as long as they're cool with you,
dude. It was crazy. Like, he was just waiting out in the bar, and we came out of the restaurant, and he was like, let's hang out. It was.
So he has a government job, so he's definitely got awesome health care and all that, probably for life.
Yeah.
If one of us gets to be a diplomat, promise me we'll bring everybody.
Dude, it seems like a great deal. And I think he's got a family.
Get to live abroad.
And he has mentioned to me before, because I even said to him, I was like, people tell me all the time, like, I wish I had your job. I'm like, you're the guy I wish I had your job. And he's like, it is very difficult on your family. You have to.
But is it
that.
their job to know the culture, go to different,
completely.
eat at restaurants?
100%. That's you're on the street. You're in the street. You're trying to win. Sort of, the state's job is to try to win the street. But
okay, we're good. We're Americans are great.
Look over here. And he actually references that because we were talking yesterday about the screw worms.
Mm-hmm.
And how in 1966 we figured out a way in America to wrangle these screw worms that come up from South or from Central America and Mexico and ravage our cattle and crops. And I had read that the way that we had actually stopped this was with sterile male mosquitoes or screwworms, I guess, that would impregnate, like, it was in a story about this in a throwaway that, like, hey, Greg Abbott's worried these are coming back. So he hit me up. He's like, I worked at Embassy Panama for a few years. The screwworm comes from South America and can only travel on land. We created a huge program there called something, it was in Spanish, in the 50s during the Canal Zone times. It's still operating. They have their own facility to grow these sterile mosquitoes and then release them. They introduced them in this very narrow place called the Darien Gap on the border with Colombia. They release so many of the sterile male mosquitoes, they impregnate most of the females before the natural males ever have a chance. It's been an enormous success, and the ambassador always cites it as an example of successful partnership when they bring up the whole, quote, occupation and invasion stuff. So they're like, yeah, man, you guys invaded us and, like, haven't left. We're like, yeah, but these screwworms are gone.
Yeah.
We took care of it for you.
Scratched your back.
That's funny. You know who's calling me? A screwworm.
Oh,
Maybe
look,
he's saying,
said he was thinking about making plans for the summer.
Yeah.
Huh.
Seems like might be
coming home to see the fam.
You got a spare room, right?
So, yeah.
I'm
Diplomat man.
kind of a dumb
Shout
guy.
out.
If you're a sterile worm, how do you then impregnate the other worm?
Dude, that's a great question.
But you're sterile.
It's a great question. Do you just shoot a blank baby in there?
Yeah.
Like, are you shooting
See,
poison?
if I didn't do that DAC golf thing, I could have worked on this. And
Yeah.
I knew that info.
But you didn't. You didn't, and there's your
Damn it!
news.
I wanted it to be a geography question.
How? We'll go to GPT.
The
Oh, yeah.
Dumb Zone News.
I don't know how we would have pulled this off, but
And
explain.
He's playing Sounders now.
He's fine.
I don't
He's
want to
super
interrupt him.
talented.
Oh, he is super talented. I want Dan to do GeoGuessr more than anything on Earth.
What is that?
Is this something the kids are doing, Henry? What is GeoGuessr? No clue?
So you pull up a random
It was at the-
spot on Google Earth, and you have to pick within a certain radius of it to
Mileage.
get points for it.
Yeah, it just drops you somewhere.
I just finished watching a guy that went 300 in a row on Twitch. He
Wow.
streamed for 5 days.
Damn, what a beast!
Beast.
I told you,
Dan.
there was a
Numb
demo
beast.
at the
CES.
Yeah, there was a demo at the video game thing I went to.
Ah, yeah.
Where this guy was doing it. They drop in, you get 30 seconds to move around Google Street View, and he'll go to the highway and oh, this looks like this highway in Brazil, and he can name the city.
I don't want it timed. I just want Dan to wander around for a little bit until he figures out where the fuck he is.
Why does everybody want to make me look bad?
Well, because yesterday we were having
But will
a
that
conversation.
help our followers?
Gotta bring your heroes down.
Yeah, I mean, it's all for the greater good, but I think it's also that yesterday we were having that Utah conversation, and people were...
The Utah conversation.
It was fresh. Mike was pointing out to me that the Utah Jazz have mountains on their most famous jersey, and those mountains actually do have snow caps on top of them. It's on the jersey.
It just left me with a lot
they
more
also-
questions.
I also am led to believe that they have a thriving jazz community.
Well, I think we all know how that worked.
Yeah.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in History.
That sun-kissed population of Utah.
That was the leading question out of yesterday. Was
It just feels deserty.
okay?
Didn't the Mormon guy travel through
There
the
are
desert
some
and
deserts
stuff?
too.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
I
it's the
had to ask-
Rockies.
I had to ask what you think BOGO means.
Oh, well, this is very controversial. This is like games above 500.
Okay.
Because BOGO, my leader
Are you
Dan
doing a
here,
Kleenex thing to BOGO? Where you call any tissue
No,
paper?
it's not Xerox. Why?
Because you said BOGO yesterday, and the deal that was being offered was not a buy one, get one free BOGO.
And this is the issue.
And that was confusing. I
They
was like,
describe it as buy one, get one free, but you're not, right?
What do you mean?
Your
my
issues
bid-
with one-day doors,
My
yes.
bid is when you buy one, yes, you get one. So if you buy
Free.
one, you get two.
okay. That would be a BOGO.
It's bogut.
Bogut.
It's bogut.
We've done this like
You
5
buy
times.
one,
Really?
you
I'm
get
sorry.
two.
I'm
I've only
sorry.
paid for one,
Okay. But two showed up.
and then I got two.
Okay.
So I buy one, I got two.
Yeah.
Right.
That's accurate.
You got a Bogut.
Yeah.
BOGO is buy
one,
get one
and
free.
You get an extra one free if you said that, but it's not buy one get one. Like buy one get when you say buy one get one, there's no
This
F
is
on
the
the end.
whole
It's
show.
Not,
Right.
It's not bogoff.
This is what we do.
Sorry,
It's
I brought
buy
it.
one get one.
No,
Okay,
it's
well
good.
I
I love
bought
it.
one pair of these shoes,
Uh-huh.
and I got one
Where's my
pair.
You got
Fucking
one pair,
vape.
right?
Yeah, so I did it. I got a BOGO.
Jake just
I
threw
bought
in
one.
BOGO yesterday. I didn't know if it was a reference to something or if he was referencing the deal y'all just talked about. Because the deal y'all just talked about
Why don't you cut
was
me
not
some
a BOGO.
slack? They give you doors.
The one day doors thing.
Maybe. He doesn't know. He just
Yeah,
messing with
one day doors, the thick doors that you were talking about or whatever.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it, dude.
I'm
So
fine with
thick.
you.
They're so it's like an old bank vault, one of those things, and you gotta turn the thing.
Yeah.
Viewer mail birthdays before we leave. Leave the airwaves, I guess. Anyway,
Blake, are you leaving?
No.
We'll do a pre-Ken check in a moment. First, I'll say this is on Sunday. Dear Uncle Lone Survivor, Sunday is my 42nd birthday. Since that number is retired across the league, I'm happy to have a second Dirk year. The last time this happened was my Brad Davis year. My hero is the philanthropist Blake Vanderbilt Jones. More Julie.
Wiping out hunger across the Metroplex.
That's right.
More Blake's unintroduced studio guest and fast facts with Clayton. Things that are back. The days before the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
Good.
protections are being put at risk.
Gummy thoughts. Do woodpeckers get CTE?
But what are you doing?
I thought it was humorous.
No. Nuh-uh.
It's kind of funny when you think about it.
Yeah.
That's from Tyson,
No,
day
but they
3.
That's a good email,
No,
Tyson.
but they get Peyronie's disease.
Number 2084. Gentlemen, want to wish my lifelong friend since our Hazlitt Elementary days and fellow DFer John Boyd happy 40th on Saturday. Uncle Hotmail and Soroy are his OG leaders.
Nice.
I don't think he misses a show while slinging hair all day. He's bald AF and currently trying to grow it out Soroy style.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever listened this far in the show. Is that Line 4 guy? Like real Line 4 guy?
This is Heart Attack Man. He's a guy we know who had a heart attack, right?
Oh. So I don't want to derail.
Yes, I have had a heart attack.
Okay.
But not today.
Not today. Solid. Okay.
He's a man, not a guy.
Right.
And
Just
we
want to
don't
say
have
I'm honored.
lines.
Yeah.
Just want to
should
say I'm
be.
honored either way.
My sister and I sat right in front of Jake and TC on Luka's return back in April. Lovely experience and quite entertaining from Josh.
That was a lot of fun. They were very cool about it. They're Mavs fans. Like, they were still on board, but they allowed me my space to process.
Dear Quim enthusiast, I want to wish my youngest son, Towns Harris Shelton, happy 11th.
That's an unfortunately strong name.
He listened to an epi last week with me and said, quote, "That's not terrible."
All right.
Oh, wow.
His leaders are Blake's thinly closeted gay Red Rocks concert date
Finley. Buddy.
and Dan's newborn slumdog millionaire second wife. More Blake as long as he's stuck on a DART train so we don't have to hear him.
Nice.
Less Daniel Bayless, Esquire. If you need an expert on how to quit drinking without a journaling coach and unlimited fountain drinks, I am your guy. Sometimes punt, Jeff Shelton.
Hey, Heart Attack Man, are you in the clubhouse right now?
Yeah, are you in the kitchen?
I know it's quite loud, isn't it, in the background?
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I know there's a lot of golf on these Fridays, although it's hot. Okay, well, good for you. You quit drinking without rehab.
Yeah,
Sorry.
do people? I knew you weren't gonna let that one go. People just walking up to him, going like, "I just kind of."
Oh, I get. There's
dried it.
It's basically the
dried
gold,
up.
It's the Gold Star thing. Like you know about Gold Star gays?
No.
Noviello has taught us that the Gold Star gay is has only been with their like
spouse.
You've only been with men if you're a gay guy.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Noviello, not a
Yeah.
Gold Star gay.
Yeah.
It does feel like there's a, well, I did it on my own.
Yeah.
But it's good for you too. Stratification in the sober game.
Lord Liquor of the Flicker. Please help us wish our youngest brother Charlie happy Rudy Gobert birthday. His leaders are Luka's turn signal and the Team Israel guy in Blake's Temple Shalom Softball League. Request is to have Jake and Clayton give their top 3 sauces.
In the whole game?
From Michael and Sammy Whites. I think it's pronounced Waits, though.
Waits. Boy, you're I mean...
Top 3 sauces.
The whole game. That's... Okay.
Chili's Ranch.
No, that's not going to work.
Come on.
Get out of here.
It's got to be fast food. Popeyes?
The green verde sauce from Taco Bell.
That is phenomenal.
Rest in power.
The new one.
Oh.
No, it's good, dude. The
That comes
Verde
with
at Taco Bell right now.
Cantina tacos?
The Cantina chicken taco.
Yeah,
it's
with
like
the
200
sauce.
calories.
That's
Great
nice.
sauce. Phenomenal sauce. Popeyes has a like black pepper ghost pepper ranch type
that's
thing.
nice, yeah.
Out of this world.
Their hot sauce is just good too.
Popeyes?
Yeah.
It's a generic, but it is. But that can't be on the list. From there, dude, I love gravy.
The Popeyes Cajun gravy is amazing.
The Popeyes
I get
Cajun
that on
gravy
the
is-
side and get an extra biscuit every time.
Whataburger has a jalapeno ranch that you should not sleep on.
Yes.
Will be there
Yes.
Tuesday, July 8th. And they also have a black pepper gravy that is... Whataburger's sauce game is stupid. That's why you've got to get on that app. You
Dummy.
know, the sauces I order, I would feel like the biggest asshole in the world asking for that in the drive-thru. Don't do it. But if you got the app, they've got stuff you don't know about. Trust.
Throw the patty melt sauce on your taquito.
You know what? Throw the patty melt bun on a regular burger. Who's stopping you?
Yeah.
Wow.
No one.
I got a sleeper cell. Taco Bell, just straight up salsa, dog.
I love it.
It's nice.
I love it.
Little container.
Is it chunky?
It's thicker
Wait,
than
now I don't know where you're
the rest of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because Bueno
It's like
has
those doors.
Bueno has real salsa.
They got
You know,
the
have
bar.
the bar, the salsa bar.
That's what I mean, yeah.
But Taco Bell's sauce is always more of a hot sauce.
Did I say Bell or Bueno?
No,
I meant
you
Bueno.
Bueno, yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
Bell, I
Bueno
don't think Bell offers like anything with
They
actual.
don't. No, it's all fire.
No,
like
they don't.
It's
They don't.
scales
You
of
get like
death.
the pico on
Well,
the
what
side,
you could
but that's
do,
not like
and
sauce.
it is what I do, is I order 2 little things of cheese, just the cups of cheese.
Okay.
It's just fucking melted cheese.
Do
But
you
then
mean
get
queso?
Get the pico.
get the Diablo.
Oh.
Get the Diablo. 2 or 3 of those in each one of those cheeses. Mix that up. That is borderline restaurant quality queso at that
Okay.
point.
Huh.
Call me back. There's a spot on the tray for the sauce.
I'll fuck with that.
You feel good about everything that's been said, Clayton?
I mean,
He's the
I
expert.
agree with 95% of everything Jake says all the time.
Listen to me. If I showed
What's
up,
the 5%?
I would
What's
be
the
like,
5%?
you remember in the movie Road Trip when DJ Qualls went to the black fraternity and they accepted him? That would be like me in his fast food circles. Like they would quickly realize, like, I don't look like I belong here. Trust
Damn.
me.
He's got game.
Trust me.
This guy's put in work.
I've
He's
put
done
in
the
the work.
hours.
Mm-hmm.
He gets
And
the pass.
final email on these. Dear Captain Lickety Split, shout out to my son Reeves on his first birthday.
Big
Here's
country.
a picture of my wife, Nuck Fico, no softies, from Justin Hayward, who I believe was
Oh.
sitting in here yesterday.
Yeah.
He was.
Braves outfielder.
That's
Yeah.
where the no softies comes from.
Good dude.
Okay, so let's do some on this day in 1973. It's Friday, June 27th, by the way, the day we're recording this. 18-year-old David Clyde makes his Texas Rangers debut in front of a sellout crowd at Arlington Stadium. He was selected in the draft straight out of high school 3 weeks prior. Local guy, right?
Damn.
He went 5 innings, gave up 1 hit, struck out 8 for the victory. We've had him on, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
On this day in 1991, Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall announced his retirement. He was the first black jurist on the nation's highest court. His departure led to the contentious nomination of Clarence Thomas, and that proved to be without merit. Everything was fine with him. But it is... I don't know. I mean, hey, we're losing the first black judge. Let's get a black guy to replace him. Like, is that obvious?
It sucks because there's no good way to do it, you know. And this is the issue with once you introduce things, even like codify them like affirmative action. People are always going to look at that person and be like, yeah, diversity hire. You know what I mean? That's why, frankly, Biden did Kamala no favors. When he just flat out came out and was like, we're going to get a black lady. Don't worry.
To overtly just say that.
You're going to do it, but don't.
So, yes, lie like everybody else does.
Don't say
just
anything.
Say, yes, say we're going to look for the best qualified person.
Yeah.
That is it. Oh, look, it landed on a black lady. I can't believe it. Look, the Mavs lied when they hired Sint.
Yeah.
They just said, we're looking for someone great to run this organization. Oh, look, it just happens to be a black woman to help us out of this little jam that we're in.
Thing that probably you needed someone like a black woman to lead you out of.
Right, but they did not overtly say, we got to hire a black woman. We all knew it, though.
Yeah.
Turns out Biden's brain wasn't working quite right for a couple of years there. Just mud brain.
This day in 2016, baseball, Blake, the Rangers played a game that ended at 2:44 a.m. There was a rain delay that started in the 9th inning, and it went 3.5 hours. They beat the Yankees.
At the Yankees, yeah.
Yeah.
Just be done with it.
No.
Sean Bass just live tweeting the whole thing.
And Jake.
I think Prince Fielder's kids were in the front row.
What?
I think that was the cool moment.
I miss them.
On this day in 2021, the biggest opening for a film since the pandemic began, $70 million in its first weekend for F9, the 9th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Do we have any dates on Fast 11?
I thought they were closing it down after 10. That's silly. Jake has vowed to watch all the movies consecutively and let us live stream it.
That's no yes, a vow, promise, consider it already done. We just got to find a place. If you got a place,
we need a place, need some sponsors, and we'll do it.
You're off next week.
Dude, I've been waiting. These guys know. You pick up that phone to the bullpen, and I'll give you 25 straight hours.
Maybe next Thursday will be it.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll celebrate our nation's birth.
Maybe Mike for one movie. Maybe Soroy.
I'm only watching the first one.
You're a purist.
Yeah,
You're kind of a textualist at your core.
Exactly, yeah.
Strict.
I like the auteur nature of the F1.
Other birthdays today include Jonah Heim is 30. The Heim Man.
Decent band.
Chris Woodward, 49.
It's not all is he back with the Dodgers?
He invented Mr. Hat.
He is back
You know,
with
it's
the
not
Dodgers.
always the guy with the best stats.
Jordan Alvarez, 28.
Has he killed someone?
From the Disastros.
Oh, no, different guy.
Jim Edmonds is 55. I was always a big fan.
Kind of a Rangers killer.
Bobby Wagner, 35.
Flag burning.
Will Levis is 26.
Mayo.
Tiny. No, not Tiny. It's Kenny Pickett.
Chris Olave is 25.
Hates Derek Carr.
CTE.
Yeah.
Toby Maguire, 50.
Nice.
What's he been up to?
Singer Bruce Johnston is 83. He's the Beach Boy that's alive. One of them guys not alive anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Vera Wang, 76.
Better your wang than mine.
Beast.
Lori Morgan, 66.
Wait.
Once dated 8 Ball.
I think they were married.
I don't think he was married to her.
No?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to guarantee he wasn't. I'm going to put my... I will put my child's life on the line. I vow on my dead mother's grave.
You may call him in Nantucket?
Well, you're right.
See?
Oh, okay.
J.J. Abrams, 59.
It's the national anthem.
Yo, this is hilarious. Everybody is sitting down, standing up. It no longer matters. Would you like to know who Lori Morgan started dating after Troy Aikman?
Toby Keith.
No, and this is probably only really going to hit for me and Clayton, but if you're familiar with the American politician and lobbyist turned actor Fred Thompson.
Sure, I know who he is.
That's who she
the
dated.
Law and Order guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's Fred Thompson.
He has to be 20 years older than her.
He
Easily.
was the president on 24, the original president on 24, was he not?
Was he?
He was a state senator in Tennessee for like 10 years.
Excellent.
He looks like the opposite of
Looks
Troy
like her
Aikman.
dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That guy.
Bad guy.
That's who she went to after prime Troy Aikman, like mullet Troy.
He does look like Vigo from Ghostbusters 2 a little bit.
Definitely.
Madeline Sweeten is 34.
Hate when I run into a Vigo face.
Goddamn,
dude.
Vigos are everywhere, dude.
Are you into Madeline Sweeten?
Who's that?
Blake?
No.
She was Allie on Everyone Loves Raymond. Or Everybody Loves
Oh.
Raymond. I thought you were a big Raymond guy.
I was.
She went from Troy to this guy?
Yeah. In 1994.
Drake Bell,
And
39.
let me tell you something. Fred Thompson looked like that in 1994.
I know, he's a
Who's
bad
Drake
guy in some
Bell?
movie where he's like shutting down like an orphanage or something.
Drake Bell sounds like a 6th Man of the Year candidate.
Drake Bell was a Nickelodeon star who was
Oh.
abused by a producer and did a documentary.
Okay.
Drake and Josh.
Great documentary. Funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
He
And
also has some Kemp spins as well.
Was it the getting molested thing that he was just mentioning?
No,
or did he learn a little molesting? And
he paid it forward.
yeah.
Tends to
Took what he
often
learned.
be the case.
Now, do we have a Henry birthday of the day or no? Henry has been employed for one reason and one reason only.
He's our ear to the youth.
Yes, and he will give his birthday of the day. Henry's 21. 20? 21. 21.
Let's be honest. He's been disappointing so far.
There's still time, Heart Attack, man.
But I'll end with our birthday of the day. And
To save
guess, it? Well, I'll guess that he's not going to pick one of these. I have two candidates.
No, I probably
I got a hope for your birthday.
All right, come on, Henry.
So we'll see.
Okay, so for today, and it actually works out well because we were talking earlier about.
You're probably just going to tell us the birthday.
Great taste.
I appreciate you, but like,
The history of
anyway,
Just say Trippy Red and let's move on.
we've been there.
Oh, shit,
Go
really?
ahead. Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay, so if y'all are familiar with the Bob Does Sports YouTube page, okay, you should be. It's literally like Good, but way more raunchy. Like they do like drinking compilations. And
Over a
stuff on the
million
course.
subbies.
Anyway,
Bob Does Sports.
Yeah.
yes, you should look it up.
There's a video from yesterday that has 600,000 views.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, one of the members of it's like a
It's
group
not
of
even
people.
Bob's birthday?
No, it's Joey Coldcuts.
Joey Coldcuts. That's what we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
okay,
is
but I
a
have
great.
to provide some context for that.
I'm
to have any
saying
meaning.
this is a great birthday of the day.
Someone is
A
excited.
Henry birthday. This is what we need.
Joey
Is he on the Rizzlers team? Joey Coldcuts?
Dude, he looks like a Joey Coldcuts.
What's the guy that
He really does.
Turtle Man?
Turtle Boy
In
from Karen Reed.
Yeah, we didn't do Karen Reed today.
Yodel Boy.
You can do it whenever you want.
Turtle Boy or Joey Coldcuts. Happy birthday. That's a great one. Not even the guy.
Like, what
Joey
list is that on?
What do you think? Would you trade W-2s with Joey Cold Cuts today.
It's just mine, no wife?
No, wife's included.
No. I don't know.
Sure, Joey Cold Cuts ain't.
Dude, are you telling me the fourth guy on Bob Does Sports is pulling more than me at 40 with my wife?
Yeah.
He's also married. So
there's no way he's pulling financial.
Dude,
wool
I'll
like
trade
I am.
everything with Joey Cold Cuts.
You're probably right.
Every
dude, I tell you about so the house. I told you about the Preston guy the other day, didn't I? The streamer. Okay, so the house next to mine is being rented.
Yeah.
Some kid who started when he was 17.
He owns like 7 houses around the Metroplex or something like that.
Yeah.
Is he the dude that did like the Rangers game theme night, like that Preston?
That sounds.
Preston Plays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my.
Is it him? Okay.
He's
a
my
kid.
neighbor's landlord.
The Rangers can do that because they have like a trillion games. I think they tried to throw one of those at the Mavs, and we were like, "Fucking what?"
Yeah, it is funny. Like who was it that we?
You did get Big X the plug.
We did.
Yeah.
Big X the plug's a big deal.
But it wasn't a theme night. It was just he just did like halftime.
He's the biggest.
Yeah, the
largest.
Yeah.
He's mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have
he's good.
2 candidates for our birthday of the day, the Dumb Zone birthday of the day. The runner-up I have chosen is, what's that?
Did one of them kill a cat?
The runner-up is Jay Carnes.
Yes.
He is 62 years old, Dutch in the Shield.
Oh my goodness!
Killed a cat with his bare hands.
What a great...
Watched the life drain from its little kitty eyes.
Dude, that was so that show. The writing is undefeated.
Inside the
mind
feeling
of the killer.
Of a killer. What does it actually feel like? I need to know.
And because it's playing on the Dexter thing a little bit. Like he got into that because somewhere deep down, that's what he wants to be.
Yeah. Bro, that's hot. But our birthday of the day, I had to give it over here just because of all the controversy and our esteemed Mavericks guest today, or at least former Maverick guest, Khloe Kardashian, former neighbor down there at the AAC, installed a fuck swing, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Her and Lamar installed like a swing. Because just their sex wasn't. You know how you're like, oh, okay, I don't know about missionary. Let's try this little. Like they've tried all that.
Yeah.
And then they did all this other stuff, and they're like, what about a swing? How would you use a swing? I don't know.
I mean, what kind of bracing has to go into that? I mean, you
yeah.
got to call out.
Neither one of them
heavy-duty.
small individuals.
No, she's a lot smaller now, though.
She'll go up and down. I'm a big fan.
Born on this day, now dead. Ross Perot, Mildred J. Hill, who wrote Happy Birthday to You, and based on that, she's in the Songwriting Hall of Fame.
We went
it's got to be the sparest song in the Songwriting Hall of Fame.
No, I promise you.
You think like Row Your Boat is
dog shit in there. I promise you. Let's look it up. You're thinking it's all Stairway to... I promise you. No way.
And born on this day, now dead, Helen Keller, who the government, they embrace her story to a point.
It's a comrade right there. What was the lady's name who wrote Howard?
Mildred J. Hill.
Okay, so that's called the Towering Song Award. Yeah.
You know, Helen Keller never heard Happy Birthday to You.
Nope.
These are all just these are how do they decide this?
How could we get in the Songwriting Hall of Fame? Because I thought Who's Line 4 guy to the tune of whatever that's
it's really good.
Oh, that was
thanks, man.
I had a couple
Thanks,
opening day songs that I feel like are infinitely.
I feel like
better
your
than Happy Birthday.
Game Day Men's Health theme may.
Thank you. What about this final tweet from Evan Grant? Oh, I'm not up. No.
You are.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
Great appreciation and recognition of DeGrom Classic. Gotta step away, mental health break. Thanks for those who offered some thoughtful responses.
All right, sorry.
Where's the mariachi?
Dead on this day, still dead. 1 year ago today, Martin Mull.
Oh.
Fill me in.
That one hurts.
Whom?
Martin Mull, he was on Roseanne. He was I think you'd know who he was if you looked at him.
He was in Mr. Mom.
Oh, yeah. I recognize his face.
If it's not Coach, I don't know it.
Yeah.
Don Rogers died on this day in 1986. He's the Browns safety who...
It's Gene Parmesan, guys.
Tried some cocaine.
You're trying to explain Martin Mull, and you didn't say Gene Parmesan.
Well, that's why you're here.
Yeah. I know a Gene Parmesan when I see one.
Died on this day in 1920. I wonder if he's in the Songwriting Hall of Fame. Adolphe Basil Routhier? I don't know. He wrote the lyrics to "O Canada." That's a great song.
It's a good anthem.
Yeah.
Really good anthem.
And then died on this day in 1844, probably of heat exhaustion, I would say. Joseph Smith, the Mormon leader. He
Yeah.
All this goddamn sand.
Hydration was an issue.
And that was Today in History.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, LDS makes a lot more sense when you introduce mirages. The concept of confusion.
Yeah.
All right, Heart Attack, man. You clock out and clock back in, brother. We'll see you.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
He's double shifts.
Is he?
On Fridays.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn.
So, closing remarks. Of course, Mike Marshall's had his opportunity for remarks all day. But thanks for coming out here.
Of course, man. Wouldn't miss it anytime.
Want to do another football game this year? Should we put you down for one?
Absolutely. I've got my weekends back. And evenings. So, whatever y'all need, man.
Are we doing round ball talk?
Whatever you want to do. All I'm going to say is subscribe to D Magazine.
I am a subscriber. I thought they'd get mad at me if they found out I wasn't.
Get one for your
But
parents.
my wife actually loves it. For real.
Yeah.
Everyone listening, subscribe to D Magazine.
I am certainly a subscriber. So
This sucks, because now if we win, an award, I mean, I don't care about them, but if we did, people are going to be like, it's just because Mike Marshall.
Yeah.
That's what I do. It's kind of...
Didn't we say we need to, all you have to do is submit? We might be able to submit something.
Well, yeah,
to
if
the
I'm
Texas
nominated
Emmys,
for an Emmy, then
but
we're
for
on
DZTV, we're
yes.
on. Yeah.
We didn't get nominated for the Emmy.
Do that, Blake. Jesus.
I threw it in there.
Just sitting around.
We did win the telly.
Hey, thank you.
Round ball talk.
But we also have the hot, very hot, on the main stage,
Look at it
Dallas
over there.
Rose.
Dallas Rose,
ladies and
everyone.
gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Give us a
been
twirl.
awesome.
Do your buddies get any closing remarks, or is it just going to be you? They're
I got
saying
very
no.
little. You guys are great.
I do want to offer you guys. Was this who made these? Plashley.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give these guys. Who doesn't want a nice beer koozie?
Hell yeah.
Or it could be a
Oh, damn, dude.
It's great.
like a lemonade koozie.
Caitlin Clark's not playing tonight. That's wild.
What do you mean?
Well, the game's at the AAC.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's not even playing.
No, she's not playing.
She missed last night's game, and she's now been ruled out.
Load management for the fall
Did you
season?
see? All right, I know this is during your closing remarks, but
I yield the floor.
I'm like, is she just baiting
give him
people
his time
now?
back.
This Joy Taylor, did you see that bit? She was on something, whatever. She's the one that was alleged to be tagging everybody to get to the place she's at, but
she's on Speak.
She was giving some hot sports opinions about. She said, if the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese, if Angel Reese never did the hand in the face thing and all that, that elevated Caitlin Clark.
Nice.
So Caitlin Clark kind of owes Angel Reese a
That's
thank
a
you.
solid move. Your kids make something out of themselves and go to college and have healthy lives, and you're like, maybe I actually was good as an alcoholic dad who
It's
ruined
not the other way
everything
around.
for them. Yeah,
It's not the other way around for her. She says it's because Angel Reese ignited this thing,
That's
and
great.
that got everybody talking WNBA, and now we look at the...
Is Angel Reese good? Because all I've seen online is just
I love it. I love everything you see.
Well, you can go, and it goes both ways. The guys betting her misses are hilarious.
I think she's fine. But I don't think she's a superstar.
She has some Draymond to her where there's things showing up that aren't counting stat wise. There's also that half of her rebounds are her own misses.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing I saw.
Which
Was
is something I used to
the
clean
4
up
rebounds
in.
on one possession.
Yeah. That was the funniest video I saw. Was someone took Madden Tyreek Hill, and then Angel Reese on like whatever their video game is, the NBA one, 2K, and was like, can Angel Reese make 10 free throws or 10 layups in the amount of time Tyreek Hill runs 400 yards?
That's not.
It was so funny.
They've termed them me bounds.
Nice.
Nice.
Me bounds. Yeah.
So Dallas.
Yo, thank y'all for having us. Get a Qualis roof. That's what I'm about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they put it on and everything.
Did it clean up?
Took the old one off.
Yeah, it's important.
Didn't leave it there.
No,
Hauled it away.
Swept it with magnets, so no nails.
They
in
got
your
magnets?
shoes. Like,
That's cool.
Wow.
Magnets, damn.
Do they really? I've
Yeah.
never heard of that.
yeah.
Think about it. Other roofing companies, they just sort of spray the water hose and like, hope that got the nails.
They put the nails like up. The other ones, not these guys. They take them away.
Sweep it with magnets. That's a great bit.
Damn.
Who knew there was a magnet broom?
Qualis.
Yeah, that's who.
The ceiling is the roof.
That's right.
What's your bit, Dallas? Do you just know you have a hot name?
That's it. Yeah, just working my game on the pole, day in, day out.
What's your walkout song? Welcome to the stage, Dallas Rose.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs like I'd never seen before. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when they say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. The biggest load that we've seen. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, it didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You understand that? Raise your voice! You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that?